Now the best and we were second class human beings because around that time, now United Nations. Yatedada at United Nations 1945 after the Second World War. Nana Black Africa country biya enkahu. Nti so mu koshia wo ho a bibini biya enkahu.
Yati UN no. Na African country biya enka. Saku no.
Say yeah independent countries.
Okay.
Sovereign nations.
All right. It's that time no. Ne ho.
Aha, near in 1945 no. Na say o country biya no a Black Africa no. Yankahu enisa.
Okay.
Ntina chese we kura ye nimguase ye maye. Ntina ye ka world politics ye nimubi. Now, and no so nchira say na aman bi e wo ha no enye nya afa ahudie. Na Liberia enya afa ahudie be 100 years earlier. Ethiopia de obi ani won so eda.
Obi an konka Ethiopia.
Dabi on the yan colonize won. And Egypt nso no mo enya won fa ahudie. Now, these countries enya won fa ahudie no. Omu pe won ba bi tnai African some mfa won ho wiasen some mfa won ho omu ti won ba bi until sa Kwame Nkrumah eba he te Nkrumah ba beduru ahasei no Onua mu oba no okra Madam Liberty big giant statue we US hwe ni say ya so otika mu a hwe giant statue ni sa no say sa Liberty we say no bi na mekọ akoko ho ntokwa ewo mememu eneme continent ya bibi man nyina obabeduru ha no a wo sha ase say organize ne normal ne bibi oye bia no opese ye bibi man nyina. The reason being that abrofo no ho omo edie no te say France omba hwehwe omo aben wa Ivory Coast, Senegal, Gabon, Burkina Faso sa countries ni nyina mu na yade wako France ntuko sua de na wo ba wo beboa colonial administration no nti wo ba bedru ye no classmates, some being the white people with seniors with juniors say Britain and so a scholarship Oxford and now say University of London, all the universities over there nti wo ba na wo friends among the colonial administrators. Intino say fa hudie na wo hwehwa eden na wo pe fa hudie those days judges ni na ya brofo na bia wo ye lawyer te say dankwa to mo ye wo namfofo mo nyina mo ye freemasons mo to da me bom mo didi bom mo ye bibia bom. Incidentally Nkrumah was the only one who found himself in the US into obedru Ghana no ni classmate bia wo ba bia only classmate and I feel so US university no coin at that time a low class university because when your scholarship or back Harvard movie and the Princeton University movie
and here for the no
and predominantly blacks
and never
all right the advantages a year two the first one was that they were blacks predominantly omu nyina hate abrofo the second advantage and they say Oko America na no so aye colony to Britain in the 1770s almost so ji won fa hudie international say wakọ oman a wokọ akosua kwan a ye fa so ji fa hudie. And the third one is that oman no a wokọ mu no enyo oman ketwa te say Ghana. United States, about 55 states, just as Africa. Omuni Africa about the same number of states. Yes, and one kakrebi. And it says a state means country. So country see bura duonum no ya kan bom na your mind back. Meanwhile, omuji won nanko omuji fa hudi omu otumi so ombachiche. Omu anyesa.
America for
America. Omuji won fa hudi free Britain won. Omu hunyansa so omu akambo. No omu kambo omu no mo mbe ye superpower.
A whole continent.
And that Omaya no one country. And Nkrumah did need to form who say country bia esono. We have the advantage of numbers. Russia eson a superpower. America son a superpower. China the same. India the same. To the moment that was you have a lot of advantages. The Ghana film, I see, and to the Nigerian film, they are told what is the reason? Obin almost 300 million, population 30 million. Almost 300 million. See, I can't say and talk around 1% is one better. What's what 1%, 10% impo, so better in Jessica. Ntim Nkrumah who the background of Iban say Ghana is like one state in the US. Nti ahesamano. Nti that Africanization policy and unity na what nimu and something he called the African personality. Before no kokotu womu ewo hono. Anyansafo nko a womu yusu Marcus Garvey. The philosophy says before you know to me e kabom. And no yeah na adwen say na meme ba mbeba be start sa de no ewo ha na mu nyina nso mabobuame. Nti Nkrumah coming to the political scene, change the history of the world immediately. Said this is Africa coming up. And the friends and I'm so free American or buying. And now for fun on ya or a bini Malcolm X, a bini Martin Luther King. Into 1957, no declare independence, no invite you on by into time or on money independent speech, no, mpacha ordinary speech. Oh. Na omo enim no say asem na yakwachi omo enim ne say no wa prepare speech a ehye bottom na obeduru ho no when you saw speech no it was like a divine inspiration and no man and he started by thanking everybody, farmers, fishermen, the market women, party members, obia. The second line he came to talk about our country. The next line, he came to talk about the fact that the independence of Ghana would be meaningless unless it was linked up with the liberation of the entire continent of Africa. So he came to talk about Africa.
And before I continue, not just say, boy, Emma and Nkrumah dream for front here, kwa one school of Britain.
And near number one, so called school of Britain. And the outlook could also be okay. And near number one, what was Yamia Nibia as any paternity? Nyami obibia nyami ye bia na se ni patroseda e de ne ko ba bi ko prepare no to oba no colonial administration no ni classmate wom oni adamfo ewom ni onimu an se the same Britain e di America for so no mo pam won gi won fa ahudie na no mo abeyo superpower o mu so na wa hei nti ese metumi pam won all right time o gi fa ahudie ni say speech no the conclusion no was about the black man, that the black man is capable of managing his own affairs. So speech in na Martin Luther King a year notes wom and no could deliver the famous I have a dream speech. I will US instantly and my black people civil rights for the first time almost so motuaba. Wow. So Nkrumah's presence on this planet, you know, as is a BBR. America say I can't say my dad here. And what you know, so 1957 on what independence, 58 in one year All African People's Conference. Bibi men na momra ni ukwa ye be faswa ye beje fa hudie. Okay. Nti eba do 1960 pepe ne yate OAU. Around that time, over 23 countries, no maji won found Africa because of near Kwame Nkrumah about Bebe Guye. So it means it says, I young Nkrumah or Baya, and can be before crown freedom once I'm the name tidim. Now, my country says, United Gold Coast Convention. I can once UGCC. You see, Ghana first started with Aborigines Right Protection Society. It will because of founders, I may say Aborigines Right Protection Society. No, Sabamo, Jacob Wilson say, Munina, a cajon. O Munini entire no. Now, brofone say, as I see, currently at that time, no, Omun Fanya, a down. Ya perse a crown land, ya dish a bias. Now buying a shessel. Now, no, Omutina Hodgen won't open say, Debbie. Emisa brofone nte yaka definition of land in Ghana omontiase na yanya de ne se asase no eye na nanu ma ewu kwa ne dia na omo ete asase sisese no ehwe so e de amanchiri ma ye ba wo ho abadabi nti se ete asase so ne ya mo ho ban na kodi broni nsemu a da bi yasa kwa asamando a anu ye be ne ye kwa because ni wura anum le ho. So it means that in the case of Africans, land has a spiritual significance. I can't say a bosom, a sunsum, and tis a camp, but your car, the son and really at any time to me a fluence, and tis a tari, as I say no, a yamine boy, and then yami 1 for 1 inch cram account be. Until you want nanum, your bottle womba queer, a brew on my jenny, a queer weir, at the 2 miles and a frame and I can't once. I know that's a woman by a cosimbra. Wobako condition ya wo foforo no so abeto aso usudru anu akọda ne samai na sase na be ya wo dia na wo di wani hwe ne ya wo na ba no so bo ho ho ban eno na me ye kwa explain kire British Parliament no ho
okay
ne the boss asase no ho eban after that na chese Aborigines Land Protection Society no more or less abeye irrelevant
okay
ehunya bi omo ana National Congress of British West Africa and also omo ba and Chief Macaulay omo adwen ne say pese the 4 colonies of West Africa, Gambia, Sierra Leone, and then Ghana, Nigeria. I mean, Gold Coast, Ghana, Nigeria. Yentuminka Yahumbo. Na debi sabe kobase fahudia. Niye ina your mind back like federal states.
Okay.
Almost starting a true baby no mu say emwa because so free Ghana before so be Nigeria French colony that time German territory kwa na wo middle so also wo hwe benkum so Ivory Coast ne ho ansana wakoto Liberia no wako Sierra Leone
enti ne moshie se ke moshie dia ka be
simple enye te true baby na say ye jai emaneka then in 1947 no openi Pa Grant businessman and no adwene ye ne say ye the South African businessman be friend RT Briscoe ebe compete with him rubber no bedua timber no watcha bibia abrofo no compete with him enti ande so tumete political party da bi e benya e fa ahodie ne apamu abrofo no ma wo mu akọ na wo mu kọwie na kyese ye ne obi anye competition bia na ebibifo ye ho atoye e wo man we say mu enti wote ne party na party no a wote ye no incidentally no da bia meka no ba bia no na adwen ne say enam se ni business ewo colony ha say mpacho Ghana no ni achichem bebre Gold Coast no asia say na ye mpoano no ye fa ne the colony was made up of Eastern Province and Western Province.
Okay.
Eastern Province and I know the Eastern region and then Greater Accra region.
Okay.
And a Western Province here, Central region and Western region here now ya sa chemu.
Okay.
Into any friend the colony. Into the colony na no so near friend the Gold Coast. Real Gold Coast. I know the colony.
That time no.
That time
the real Gold Coast no.
I know the colony.
Eastern region, Greater Accra, Central and Western regions.
And I friend the colony in the Gold Coast.
Okay.
Ashanti na Parliament kura no a wa akra no mu parliament na Ashanti nkobi they ruled Ashanti by proclamations but you no
the omodo
omo anu nsem no ka kire ahemfo no na omo nso e de aye adwuma until 1946 no na Ashanti mpo nka ye ho what you say na your fancy one northern territories wo mo so enka ho kura na omo aye ne say wo ho eye Ashanti no made up of then Bono Ahafo and Ashanti region will be the food basket for them. Now, Northern Territories, you can nipa no more babe ye juma.
Ewo Ashanti and Bono no.
I was Gold Coast colony. Okay. Mines near the no. I say Northerners so
yeah.
Yeah. Southerners and Akuko schools. I want to encourage you on the manual. 1 year until I see a disrimco. Now what the woman you know become one back parliament and one more year mera. Woman call for by fighting for them. They will fight for schools like Infante Pim at the saddle and others into not in Yinara. No school be anywhere. Into near our imaginary boundary between the north and the south. Into now 1 year United Gold Coast Convention. No. Ebe ha wo so mudin Ashanti no not ebe ka ho voters so nka ho akwa bibi te say efa German territory ane yedi wo mu aba abeka ye ho enti fa hodie no ayeka eho asem no so called founding fathers and so called big six no so mutumi je fa hodie no a na nka ye that colony na yeso utu emre say wo kire esie Pa Grant no ye chairman of the party no what deputies mienu
Pa Grant no
the deputies mienu
chairman of UGCC
no the first deputy a friend of RS Blake
okay
and later be a Supreme Court judge my friend Mr. Justice Blake. RS Blake or your first deputy chairman of UGCC in charge of the Western Province and the second vice chairman in charge of the Eastern Province JB Dankwa.
Okay.
And if we say JB Dankwa party bia wo Ghana da. And then onye chairman of party bia wo Ghana had the UGCC no na what here.
But no a vice chairman. The Eastern
second vice.
Second vice.
First vice, yeah, RS Blay.
What the Western or Western?
Western, and the West Shaway.
Okay.
And a Papa no be party near Nedia. A party near Nedia. And to almost almost general secretary. And I go Jesse of Finland and Eban, young man be on him organization to young Fanamera. Ntia no buy I didn't call party headquarters or share woman no who is almost 13 branches in the colony.
Okay.
Na two na ya active. Aya Salt Pond Cape Coast and a crab branch. And no
East Indian Grand Shadine.
Baby I been baby say East Western region muno second we be ni ho. Ntia ba ne sano. In a matter of 2 months, now Nkrumah organized 300 branches. Now, dear year when we bufuni say, Nkrumah de biko Ashanti no bono ne have for ne not any vote any baby ya.
UGCC no.
UGCC
branches no.
Or spread in the baby ya. And a year we bufunti £100 a month. So me man, almost sad man £25 because a Jumani is so mayor nuna.
And
oh yeah, a fence or Kasabi African unity ne. No ma omumpe etie one seminar. Okeka.
Tonight just say Nkrumah will be a no penkabum.
Or penkabum say one or minor ebeka abum. Oh, na womu di dankwa sorry omo edi grant echino ana na adwen papa ni wontirim
okay
actually say wono papa we no grant no ono yenzimani
okay
ana wate ne party but so washa o kan so omo nka mom no omo nte party no JB dankwa no kwasesa ne fiefuo bebre ana de ba nti na no hwe big sis na wo sika no so o say eastern region fo no edo omuno doso ewoso and no making sure say nka oluma no nya well educated one year san 7 na wo ye lawyer ni wo say kuta PhD na nka obadwena omani nyina ho eyi no ono dwene tribalism mu say asantefo na form empire be that Ashanti empire and almost what do you ba mu pe aduane se nipa no doso aduane no enche enso yedi
Anokye
na the same aduane o the same powers in the beche and na wo kofa siremfo ene ayibefo ne asantefo abeka wo ene se enso ye nti the measure so omu nkọ na Nkrumah hu abufu ni se oba odi gbedamadi nachi ene krobodi se ene wo bia enti tam Otumfo asante hene prempe the second ehu dwuma odie no ana ode Ashanti Youth Association ede beka Kwame Nkrumah supporters no
okay
so they were personally having allegiance to only Kwame Nkrumah. And the Kwame Nkrumah so who say your committee of youth organizations CYO our year friend say UGCC youth no more penasam because mpanimfo no ye lawyer for ni businessmen and kasia want to me approach you Nti Kwame Nkrumah no omu nim no. Nti 90 to cut a long story short no. 1949 ye can say Nkrumah no ma wo ye na ha adwene nya na ye pam na free party no mo. Na che so okuta two powerful bodies. Omu allegiance to him and to him only. The first one and the Committee of Youth Associations CYO within the UGCC and Ashanti Youth Association Prempe Edemano into sa committee mienu we say no youthful people and no cambo ma the Convention People's Party. And one into a Convention People's Party. Now my Convention People's Party abaya National Party. Now mom UGCC no na ye for the colony. Into amukoto about 1951 no.
That's the United Gold Coast Convention.
It was for meant for the colony no mu didn't see Gold Coast.
Okay.
Into 51 election no omulusu ye no. Ana omugu convention omugu United Gold Coast Convention omugu no nti na chese samre no achemfo ne hope ni won bibia ene fancy JB Dankwa
Anoye second vice
UGCC
okay
and asantefo no ade you have only a CPP for to start with. Asantefo because you see Ghana politics who are because of tribalism no wobua. Asantefo no so who say UGCC omo anfa one kan na Nkrumah mom and I extend e de abahono. No mo so start ade bi say nzemani asante kura ya ade baako nzema kotoko asante kotoko na achimfo de omo nya ye nuanom. Until their focus was on Kwame Nkrumah. Into what tea party no money bedina chi. Na
Asantefo no.
Asantefo no.
Oti CPP no.
Omo nyina bedina chi. Bedina chi. That time na RR Mponsa. Any Vito Usia. Krobwadu say. Ena Kwame sana poku Jantua. Any Franklin Adubobi Jantua. Omo ne prominent Ashantis edinachi. Then Obeye Prime Minister no 51-52. Ana or draw up accelerated development program. I try so mind we say obe man so iron it is a first world. Na no ma wo di benye ni sika dia ye nyina will come from cocoa. Because that time we were the world's leading producer of cocoa.
That time no.
Now
maybe before 51-52 no. Zamana UGCC won.
Yaguno.
Now
UGCC after 51 na yaguno. Ntina besi and Yaguno because it was a party for the colony and now
we don't have colony again.
Nkrumah has expanded everything beyond the colony and the white man has been forced to recognize that. And so the northern territories and then Ashanti and then Transvolta Togoland have come into the picture. So UGCC becomes completely irrelevant. And then the Ashantis will start telling Kwame Nkrumah say, na yesi kana with this school, I want Fante and cry. Because Ashanti at that time was one region which was the biggest region made up of Ashanti, Metropolitan Ashanti, Ahafo and Bono. Na mu dua koko pa.
Okay.
Into omu say omu sika near they basha the rest of the country. Sadia and they will have to make a proposal to Nkrumah. Say increase the price of cocoa now with them farmers.
Okay.
Now Kwame Nkrumah said the moment Obeye had and Obeye affected the program meant for the whole country.
Okay.
Now also we will say bauxite in Asante, the income manganese the income in Asante, diamond the income that didn't know the share cocoa no. Into the negotiations are Nkrumah ni wo mu ye and say Sadia cocoa farm be and fan a banco school. Na ye way cocoa no. Well, we better many receipt. A collebi better many receipt is all papaya cocoa. Ubenya government scholarship. And Nkrumah catch and say when the Bob Wamanya lawyer for the doctor, the journalist, and the BBA. Na me disikani shamun sama. Do you know what you would do? But warimba bebre awu bebre cocoa nase. Mua.
Send a cocoa na no better phone.
Anti-nature say mua yes or no.
Okay.
Into omu kwa no say Nkrumah di atempa o si enimi nyansa. Na si enimi nyansa nka yesika na ma Ghana. The world a leading producer of cocoa nti e bechere no. Into omu buy no mu ko Nkrumah hot 3 times because they were CPP.
Because of that statement in a film Nkrumah no buy no.
On world market price of cocoa na medi farmers no ho. Because region B and I want to benefit from it.
Okay.
Now Nkrumah said the country is for everybody. What you say into ono so one penny into omu kwa no omu say yate ho mateme ho kem yate ho afi CPP na now say ajiman prempe ye Nkrumah damfo one man title or sajefo no so after this another title Otumfo. It was the first time in the history of Ashanti hine for title Otumfo no so one so mama title or sajefo, but because of the pressure from his people, now say Oti Party, National Liberation Movement, headed by his own linguist, Bafo Akoto.
Akoto. Oh no,
head.
Okay.
The one they call the next election, 1954 election. No more for any voter Ashanti no for any voter. They were also invoking history that the days of the Ashanti Empire, the Ewes were their map readers, and 2, anytime they bought guns from the coast, they will give it to the Ewes. No more moldu, moldibi. No more the amount to woman year 1. Until SG Anto, any Asante for be year back home, as the enforcement Asante for. Tokodra no mo ko de mawo nti through that no omu shase so omu ye baako. Now unfortunately initially 54 they went as individuals and omu lusu ye no to see people no and Kwame Nkrumah ma colonial administration na say we don't have any opposition in Ghana because SG Antos Transvolta Togoland party no. is fighting to break away from Ghana. So the aim of that party is not for the welfare or the future or development of the country.
I see.
Now you go to Ashanti. Almost the world market price of cocoa. They are fighting for federation. See, in the federal system of government, much of the products from that state is retained there.
Okay.
And a Muslim Association Party, almost Christians and respect to almost per respect. So it means they are not thinking about the country. Northern People's Party say Abrafona and Sisi schools who home the schools in the
southern sector.
And Tiama south of one alcohol school. So many independence in the Bomwa. The going away of the white man will mean they're coming to serve black people, their own brothers, and the Omunyan to almost
black man 7
and to one the one year. And apart from Convention People's Party, I almost draw support from everywhere, and almost nationally inclined. Parties Akebia has a sectorial view. And Nkrumah said, no, we cannot go to independence with this.
There's a selfish interest to be a tenant.
And Nkrumah said, this cabinet system of government or your prime minister, I practice over Britain. The leader of the opposition must be capable of becoming the next prime minister.
Okay.
When the government falls.
Okay.
But these people, if you are from Ashanti, you can't be prime minister because you are not thinking about the country based on Nchechiremu Amami. If you are from Ghana, you can't. If you are from Volta, you can't. Only the CPP. So that compelled another election, 1956 election. And that means all the opposition parties will have to come together. I know that me a Cambo, me a friend, United Party.
UP party.
UP tradition.
Okay. All this one not JB Dankwa.
I don't come about the candy association. Ya pamuno Tibia, one can anti United Party, no. SG Anto Kanwe leading member, and SD Dombo. Simon Dear Dombo and Northern People's Party and above for Akoto. Omunyina Transe and say Omunyina educational level training college. Enduru babia. It is adia. Yanshisha will be a Okuta superior education or Nkrumah. Bayat a bemache near Fanembra. And to Omudi Omwene Shishemu, no Muko Bunani, and at that time Bono was part of Ashanti. Professor K.A. Buzia to come and lead them. You understand? So the UP tradition had K.A. Buzia. And then they drew up a bigger agenda. So after the 56th election, when we had independence, Nkrumah was the prime minister. And then the official opposition led by Buzia. Until that time, not Dankwa Hinifa. Until not Dankwa and the Achims too were not part of the Ashantis. The Achims were not because from the Ashanti time, Ashanti had always thought of subjugating Achim and ruling it completely. And that be answer Achim, but no more near day.
Now, Ashanti for Achim for us, Mutum that time.
That be one sound over the Iowa, Nubina, or Kwakwa or said to 2 Kwapanishiwa, Omukumu. Okay. So what I say, about 300 years ago, or more than the Vaprem, very good that time, Omukum or said to Tuno. And from that time, Ashanti for the defeated one in the famous Ahantan War. But every now and then, se tribe bibia ne Ashanti akuntokwa na Achim support that tribe. Sanya me ombenya wonfa ahudi. Nti Ashanti di won so all right, but omo amfa the easy. Nti Ashanti ne Achim de omo nka da. Up to politics adankwa na ofiri Achim ahimfie no hu say we don't have to add Ashanti to whatever we are doing. So what I say, ananze manso nya omo namfofo ene Achim omunamfo ne afansa Asante. Nti Nkrumah ba na opia omuko mbeye one, it was okay until the cocoa issue came about. Now that Achim coming into Asante no was as late as 1979.
1979.
Third Republic.
That time no your Third Republic. Ya dia fa hodi awie.
Ya fa hodi awie two Nkrumah 69 you call Second Republic. And the leader was still their leader was K.A. Buzia, who became the prime minister.
Because me share a UGCC. See for me the 4th August 1947. Now, time because you see what's Echo 78 or 76, right? 79. So that time ya GFA who did that.
57
no. eti ekobane say na 1960
say coup d'etat
okay
and 69 omo handi over
okay
adema omo ayen say
okay
party bi a support CPP ana chese ya ban CPP
okay
ema Kwame Nkrumah nipa a ogina na ka ebuzia ka egbedema ono be official opposition
now so am yen say then you know buzia ne free bono lead party, right?
You can say Asante. You can say Bono ni Asante back at that time.
Now, you did 4th August as a day to UGCC. How relevant is that holiday?
And to be on TMB, you may say 4th August, you did Aborigines Right Protection Society. At that time, they were not fighting for the Gold Coast. So much in Fahudi.
Okay.
And another 4th August, you did UGCC. No, Machira Muse. And you buy omodeje fahudie ama Asante aibe any esrem.
Okay.
Omo parochial interest bi. And now what you now because self government within the shortest part. What do you mean by that shortest possible? Now we could have 2 branches pe. Okofa general secretary ba na odi obi abeka yes auntie pamo.
Okay.
So what you say? Enti sa anamo na year 2 year no. Enya anamo wa ye did lay foundation say ye dey pe fahudie.
The sergeant of the general secretary so to speak didn't start with what Akufo-Addo did. It has been their stock in trade.
Yeah, but you remember how me person will we only we that hono no. It's now
69 no.
69.
69 election no. CPP for uncontest bi. Na your friend is an Nkrumah ye the deputy.
Atam ne Nkrumah.
Ya Nkrumah the deputy no wa ha ke bedema. To no organize CPP for in another form all together. And no omo win seats kakra no omo for more opposition. And no pono. Papa ne omunim se oba beye the opposition leader our parliament na just say indirectly na Kwame Nkrumah enti obia yaswa ni in no kuta ni seat wo parliament keta or parliament no mo keta no mo ajinja omunipa ayefa na Uno Williams say abano yewie mu yaswa ni in or parliament
no
ama ye de no court AJ seat ni free nisem ama bode ma betina fie yaji ni seat for bet yam fa no ntinche
okay
abetina fie to betina fie
enti enya ase no for pen
everybody
ana 1972 a champion so betu buzia nti anenam so na ye ba be pie 1979 third republic
okay
nti sa third republic no and immediately Nkrumah Nkrofo no Ekambo mu no mute People's National Party.
Okay.
More or less.
That time now you reverse law now.
Very good. Okay. Until mute People's National Party.
PNP.
But for PNP for them it was President Nkrumah's party. And now your friend say this Mateme Hufo no UP no. Omuso pa edin bedani PP in 69 Progress Party.
PP.
Progress Party.
UP change bedani PP.
PP Progress Party.
Okay.
Until 79 the 69 na ye Progress Party.
Okay.
79 na so mo fa din foforo na eno kokoye
the same group
no say constitution bi e beba no.
Okay.
Mo se send din.
Okay.
Enti popular Popular Front Party. Na before say sa Popular Front Party no. Sa tradition no no. Mumi entie ni yes it was the first time achemfo no. Yo, won sa achemfo no ntumi nko join ni CPP. Because omu nye CPP for nipa omu di na chini ya dankwa dankwa so ya Nkrumah arch enemy nti omu ntumi nko CPP and they are too small to be recognized
achimfo no omu sa
na nakura omu do so kwa nya just about 6 constituencies nti na so omu pa baabi fa nti omu ko join Asantefo no a party no so what you say eyi friend say Asante ne esiremfo yi
eti no
nti so omu kokko join no omukoko join ni won ewie ya no ana omu suggest say party ya yeti ehu yin say ya be congress ni ekoyi presidential candidate hwe wo ba no be dictate. What is the reason? The reason is
eno ye ho no
ya chimabu akokokos.
Okay.
Ana omu argument na say we share the so-called big six, even though for me in Ghana's history any adibia friend big six no. The only United say one near Awuno Williams Anna Nanka Bruce any RS Blay ene your friend say
Park
grant ni JB dan kwamu nyina. Na after 48 riots na ya hwehwe mpanimfo na ache wo mu so mu na organize sa demonstration na nam so mieku ayi mo say fan say sergeant ajetem na ebi mi dwandwane na grant kro kwa brochire na omo a wa kra ha immediately yenya wo no. And the following day, newspaper report caption was a big six leaders of the UGCC arrested. Now, not just said they were the biggest fishes. No, biggest. The only sanka best started from Park Grant.
Oh, not Park Grant,
founder, chairman,
UGCC.
back roller. Eh, didn't see Kakofa Kwame Nkrumah. Ebaye. Other than calling your own big six. And I find it say RS Blay, first vice. And Nanka Bruce, and yeah, Uno Williams. But Safo ni yenya won.
Omudwane.
Uno Williams and Nanka Bruce Dodgy. And Grant was out of the country. And RS Blay was in second year. So I say I change Cranford on Sujani. Ain't no Kakrana yenya out of all the leading members and the newspaper report. And ama ene or tire for what they Kwame Nkrumah. Instead of recognizing the people who stood on the days to declare independence for Ghana, rather than this recognition now comma the so-called big six big six just newspaper reportage kwa. So what you say?
Newspaper headline about that time.
I think President Kufuor did the whole nation a big disservice. Say, Wokofasa Unkrofo di wonti eduto or mainsi kaswabra everywhere in the world. Sikabie niwa from the lowest denomination to the highest. The same people neguso. Assuming they did something for the country, all other people too have done a lot for the country. One city. Now they can some Nkrumah na that's why be a 2 cities na say dankwa na say 5 cities na ya Satua 10 cities na ya Efremamu. Sana I'm saying that this man has done a great disservice to the
President
country.
Kufuor.
Our this are big says historically, Woman Bibi said they are called founders and not founders because we don't have anybody called founders. And then let us also understand. Go to the history of he lost Waterloo. That doesn't mean he was the only person who went there to fight. He went with thousands of soldiers. So what you're saying, the US almost fighting for independence. Thousands of their soldiers died, but the founder will be George Washington. South Africa, Mandela because of the prison 28 years. But they will call him the founder or the father of the nation. Mahatma Gandhi, just before independence, they shot him. But they didn't give the title to anybody. That quality to him, but the India, Yadima Gandhi. And to be a one, they need 2 or 3 da ebinsi. We are see baby adanti yadiano. And they are clear, the first person to have founded a national party. I nam so deji ye fa hudie no ma ye national anthem na o ma ye your friend is saying coat of arms not to o ma anything or move on from your friend is saying Gold Coast to Ghana na nyo ne Kwame Nkrumah enti one be na founders and the founders adentinanka e mon coat o ye coat of arms and a mama no ye flag no to do shi awoko and a national anthem beho adena umfa womunka founders no. Now, people who rather opposed our independence, you call them founders. Until let's talk about 79.
Okay.
Until Akwaba Anesano, Emma Asantefo, and most northerners, Ekabomu, Ete one party. I found a popular front party. And I Chemfuano, and a few allies from other places. Almost Kabomu, no Muti one party, found United National Convention. UNC, our symbol here in Sa. Our penny William Oforiata.
Okay.
Ne papa. Enti ya two. Dabi kind of Oforiata papa no.
No offer.
No offer. Ne papa no no be your friends a buzi a finance minister. Now, enti your friend say.
Also go on my portal.
Your friend say, "Oh yes, division no. Ya two abano. Obi anya 50% plus 1. Internet so almost sign quarto BM. Now that UNC people supported the PNP. I'm almost equal to UNC PNP UNC alliance. I'm not chairman here William Oforiata. What you say? Kokodi PNP for Achi in order to punish the Ashantis for not using him as a presidential candidate and using a younger person, Vito Usu, as a presidential candidate. What you are saying to Ebanesano, Emma, it's so easy for Nkrumah's people to win the election.
Okay.
So that was why it ended. Then 31st December, Eba ye to Omu Frekunyaso. And Omu by 1992, yes, I have fought Republic. No. Then Fourth Republic, the Achim people come in again to realize that they are too small to make an impact. Until so munya obi de won ebono. Into omuko join UP tradition this time
UP na omu change ye no.
Omu change a Popular Front Party.
Okay.
Wo come out dictate ya wo mantie na ukwate wo party.
Osamba
one, they were smart this time and gave them a name. Using this man, Professor Edubuahin, because Rollins time na curfew 6 o'clock, no be other, no opposition, who peer you bekun, and on no command speech, be the Ghana Springs, and breaking that culture of silence. Watch for that champ people, not the whole nation. Attention, our corners, so ye bema. Edubuahin, Australia. Into Tamwa, UP tradition, omu miti ye. And no, then no, a cocodom one, nature, so no, so being the historian, you know, say. Okwani din bi de ma our friend Dankwa Buzia Club.
Dankwa Buzia Club.
And they say, when we say you be lifted the ban on party politics, you nyan lift here.
Okay.
Into Omwa shall say Obia ya preparation.
Okay.
Even NDC, they founded an organization called the Eagle Club.
Okay.
They started political organization.
Okay.
Now Kwame Nkrumah started Kwame Nkrumah Heritage. What I say later split into so many Nkrumah's parties.
Okay.
Until Professor no Adubuahin and no Kwani way the ma won and your friend say Dankwa kind of say UP4 ni back about joining group no to omo join group no and I'm saying no the most famous person out here against PNDC were Ghana. To call primaries, it wasn't difficult for him to win. He became their presidential candidate.
But maybe what can confirm you know? Ose Dankwa Buzia. Dombo no count on fe.
Dombo no. One no ye NLM. National Northern People's Party.
No.
1 penny.
Okay.
Our no ne Anto. Ene your friend is something you know chairman no Bafuakuto. Omu yina de wan wo den koma Buzia no. And from this point no, nanka say Kasante Fonko or history ne yema ne akwadia. History ne de ye adwuma dia. And nanka say ye Ashanti North and Ewe tradition.
Okay, Sanka, you follow that sequence now.
That sequence now, say nipa me and san kambo no mo ti UP, no mo kokofa Buzia say Onoya professor nti o me lead one. Say san ye di ye adwuma dia. And ye nanka say ye your friend say down
northern
Bafuakuto. Dombo and then Anto tradition.
Oh, okay.
It shouldn't be Danko Buzia.
It shouldn't be in fact, Dankwa the Ombe Mubi.
Dankwa
because story ya me kenya and the Dankwa mo party ni go 51.
Yeah.
What you say?
Because who can me tietie me the name to me tirimbat. Maintain Dankwa
Dabi on count. On count and Santifano so you know for reasons, 2 main reasons. The first one, Makasa UGCC no. At the time of UGCC, so many CPP called Econo. Now Santifo is CPP for.
Okay.
And no Dankwano or UGCC.
Okay.
The second reason is that the next time as Santifo come to a Kubium or more free Nkrumah and China. Now UGCC Dankwan Kawo I'm Omokofa Buzia.
And I didn't buy.
Then the other reason, crown underlying everything is Asantefo Achim for so yomu but they would rather prefer the West and the Northerners and even in Zimmers, but not Achim people. And Achim also have proved to be smarter than all the groups in the country because with just about 6 or 7 constituencies as we have today, they are smart enough to know, say, if you isolate yourself, you will be insignificant. Now the one the Ashanti Metropolitan Ashanti alone has 47 constituencies.
Yeah.
Ahafo, the whole of Ahafo is also Ashanti, 6 constituencies. New Jabe North and South, 2 there. Then Kwawu North, Kwawu South, and then East. We have 3 there. And then go to Asen, What you say? Why Ashanti influences? Then go to some part of Oti, and then even Budin the Bono itself. Ashanti has big influence. Into what Kwawu Ashanti 100%. Kwawus are not like Achems who are a distinct tribal group. No. Okay. Kwawu is Ashanti, like Ahafu. Okay. It's Ashanti. Except that they are in a different region. Yeah. Like Bono Ahafu. People thought the Ahafo people were part of the bonus. No. Ahafos have always been Ashantis and they serve the Goldens too. And
there were those who were doing cocoa.
All of them today, all the time cocoa.
But Rollins can be. May both of you be a man.
Underestimated. The NPP cannot be underestimated. You know it, I know it. They've been in existence for a long time and have been changing their names up till this day. The nature of who they are. Listen. I love Radio 90.5. The nature of who they are, what they are, where they've come from, is something they are happy with, and they will be there for a long time. Let's not mimic their behavior. Let us reach into the principles and the values that emerged out of the circumstances that gave birth to us. And if we can hold onto those principles and those values, we will move way into the future and no one can ever defeat us.
That statement by Rollins, which you say, the NPP cannot be underestimated. They've been changing their names and not some more can we confirm it or narration, you know. But we was 30 free bar, no more PUP.
No, Sansi, they cannot be underestimated.
Yeah.
That's the word to be underlined.
Underestimated.
NSA.
That's the underlined word.
Even Nkrumah could not underestimate them. Yes, because it is founded on the strength of possibly the biggest region in the country in terms of population. And it has become their tradition, their everything. Oh, we say in the case of Nkrumah himself, because he hailed from a small place, Western region, in Zema area, the seats there, Wakamboma can never be a tradition for the CPP. And then Rollins himself is also from Volta region, also a small area. There is not much impact they can make. But in the case of the NPP, they are very lucky. So it is built on the very essence of Ashanti itself. At any time, they will always form the biggest opposition.
Because
so we cannot underestimate them.
The then 10 regions, you know, the then 10 regions. We need 2 regions at the winning national elections. That Nkrumah, they've won only 2 regions. That is Eastern region and Ashanti region. Okay, so we'll be
79 the same.
79
they say apart from Ashanti, almost everywhere. Almost the second, I realize that they are the major opposition parties. Almost Kambomua and come back to Menwini. All because you see, Ashanti alone out of 275 constituencies. This is one region. Omukuta 47 constituencies. And their sister region, I create a man, 6. Half 6. And a new job in North and South. Koforudia. They are 100% Ashanti. Ashanti Fona, Ntokwani to Omukogu.
In the Eastern region. No?
Eastern region.
And the new job is okay job in
what do you see? All job in. And I say to 2 Munekwa Yimon Tokwano, Dencha for Tokwan, Omuko Chai, Kwawiti, Intimida Keritina, gold in account, no one farmer Santifo. Okay. And yes, no so farmer. Until punishment, Eddie Maun, no more free Wobegu, but you must say. And the Ombagu and Sancha no more patchy up, come. Until they are 100% Ashanti, so almost some Otumfo.
I say for them.
I say too has always been part of Ashanti.
I say for them.
I say now was central, has always been part of Ashanti. And I so your friend is saying Kwau so they were in Ashanti Mampo. Professor Jumambedu Akosa had wanted to become Oman of
Kwahu.
Meanwhile, he's from Mampong because they are one people.
Now, about the Kwahus Asante break here because if they are of the same people, then they see Emma the Kwahus break here become upon his own.
One more day,
and number Jama, then they see
small thing. Always say during the days of the Ashanti Empire, they always felt that they had to fight in order to sustain the empire.
Okay.
And this group of people, no. Awomu adwene ye won say see enya abotre na yetenase na yadwene ye ho dodo ye rather than always going to fight. If you go with 1,000 men, you won't come back with 1,000 men.
Okay.
To all those who think like us, momi yankope ye baby ntena.
Okay.
And the entena strategic place Asante somase ye me friend kwa ye ntumi nko ontumi nduru ha.
You ask the call for the number on passum
to omko gu people no so no se yesoma nipa se yanko fa wo mra na omu roll stones against the messengers nti wo bia be soma yeso ho a wo kwede wo kwa na be yes but they are one people. I mean, all Kwahus are Ashantis.
I see.
And he said, Rollins Asamokan, it was based on history. Say,
okay.
When you talk of Ashanti, they are so huge, which can, to a very high extent, can even mean voter region. If you are going deep into history, they are always together. Always. You go to Kumasi, there's a place called Angunaga. Made up of Ewes,
yeah.
Meanwhile, you can't find that anywhere else.
But even Oko voter region, Oti region, is a Yati Oti. Oti near Otina Kwakwe Akan speaking region or area.
And not even Angola itself, Numpo. First, and many people don't know, they think somewhere Togo for but they have always been part of Ghana.
Okay.
And the Angola have always been Ashanti allies.
Wow.
Because Ashanti was trying to make incursions into the Oyo Empire. And it was the Voltarians who were helping them. In Nigeria, they wanted to bring them under Ashanti. And it was the Ewes doing all this. They have always been one people. Then Ashantis don't hide the fact that they were marrying women from Angola area because
yeah,
Kocaine. Fair because we are predominantly
black
dark.
And dark.
It is only the Fofrope. The Ashantis don't hide away from distance. And there are women who were marrying from the north in order to get more children very quickly because their men were dying all the time because of the constant and continuous wars.
Not just on talk a person Africa.
Bebre to omone eweno anenum predominantly NDC omufisi omatamfo ne Asantefo no rather no omu traditional relationship more than Asante and Achim. Asante and Achim have never been one.
I see.
But Asante and Ewe have always been one. In fact, this Ewe town Peki. Mampong for the Bechi Pechi in the Mampong.
Peki in the voter region.
And the Kumasi for now on that Bekwai Road, Pechi number 1, number 2. Ayomuna Chichire.
Wow.
And now if we are in Chobedu Kobefen Wusuta. And we are Mampong Suta for now a Chichire. Into Omu ya want is how called that area. Ubon se chidin bebre. Tinya politics and Kayana nipa bako. Put it that way. Take away politics we are one. And indeed the chiefs have always protected that.
Okay.
As for the chiefs, because on Hinibia Tanase onimina bakwa some say maybe where ye way mami. And the Achims don't want that Wachimabakwa people don't want that one to come out. But when it comes out, it will be exposed that their enemies are the Ashantis. So they always want people to think that Yeni Asante because we speak one language unity. Ye nipa ba kunamo bono for the before Nkrumah. It's not that is not the history.
I see.
That is not it. Inti we no edi wonyan san be ya dankwa buzia.
Dombo no.
Dombo de yifrim na just gukura.
Na dombo na gu.
Gu dombo na.
But ene yami atiase said the NPP tradition, you know. See 3 pillars so. Dana yami atiase.
Say dankwa buzia dombo. Say. Inti say no the Fourth Republic no. The Achim people have forced the Ashantis. Omunye omajun so mbeshu abakwasam no we mo twiste abakwasam.
Achim for na twiste abakwasam.
Abakwasam afọ stay on the Ashantis wo mo atiase say ye ka UP tradition na ye yan na mo. Nti mo no mo pani no ye di ni din to so na ni buzia. Yanso ye pani ene dankwa. So now up to this point, it will be a OTM and Nanka Dankwa and count because Achimfo and count. They were not part of UGCC, they were not part of CPP, and even 79, they caused the UP tradition to lose. And instead of being punished, they now come in again to say that we are brothers. And the Omundi Panestande ya Olusu ye, Professor Dubois, you know. And in a mua a baby PA, for time. In fact, Nanke, Kwame Pianim de Bewini. Okay. Hands down. And you're disqualified, and I will take you over. Now, yet is a Santimine, you Kwame Pianim or Kofo. But you're the leading members of the party, no be a fight to be. Obia, a Santifono Modos, whom Safuadu, Dr. Safuadu, what you say? Until no Munisa, I joined Safuadu, his campaign manager was Major Kwasiga. Inti na sa adwene ni wontin beda achibobwa people pe baby agina inti eso mu create bibi no mu digina so inti when the Kofo left sananka ya traditional nka automatically tradition san ne MPPC aduru dombofo no so ane nanka buzi adi ne de 69 ana ya friend say Akufo Addo no ayi ba no Dankwa nka ho ni nipa no professor no Aduboahin no ba standing na nkwa nkosi ba bia nti nanka ono so Aduboahin ba UP 92 MPP 92 na olusu ye nti nanka onam so ye akan nti no wo de ne be kan santefo no nti nkeduru kofo tamodi ne de awie no na che santefo no successively omu na abasa atwifo no nti nanka esa kofo de ma ne running mate Aliyu Mahama so that it will mean that from Ashanti to the north then we are following tradition
and kana ezenka ebedu Akufo Addo so
kan ru ho
follow
tradition there Aliyu Mahama neighbor
leading after
but Ashantis they didn't have that idea. They felt that we are talking about our country and that tradition is gone, but you need a tradition in order to have a constituency, to have a base. But when it comes to leadership, the moment we have the base, anybody can come into the fold, like NDC now or CPP. They don't say you are from here or there, or you are related to Rollins, so it should be this or that.
Because OFA NDC since 92, Omanya leader from the Volta region, Omanya leader from the Akan Central region,
and now in the north.
Yeah, and Omanya leader from the northern region. Obia TBDB.
Ana we mono nanka wasantefo ni tirimu say obia obetuma standing based on your own individual capability no yamfama. Ana achemfo no atuma ya de won tradition no e dia beka ho nti say omo hu say amfolo ne omo hwehwa no a omba wayato. Enti sisi ya Kofo edi ne de ewie no. Kofo edi ne support obi enim Ghana ha. He wanted Papa Owusu Nkrumah from Western region. Papa Owusu Nkrumah as an hunterman to lead the MPP.
Etina nye Alan Kashimpo.
Papa Owusu Nkrumah. From there to Professor Frimpong Boateng. Or testi omi ani na hu say Emboa. And Frimpong Boateng is from Seshi.
Okay.
And Owusu Nkrumah is from a hunter. So what you say? Intina sa adweno trabala adweno eni Kufuor tim tradition bi ani ni tim. Ana anye ye no de support kokoma Alan Martin. Ana omu kwai na nam say still tradition any wontin bibia any ho. Edru tie na say ono ne ko run off no. He decided to let the one who had led, and the one who had led on top was Akufo Addo. Into one ko into a quiet chile no na babedu. Whether it was right or wrong, the Ashanti people were not thinking about any tradition. Now we mono kokoduru wo wie ya. Eso no so free e ho no. Anya na ye tradition dia. A tradition dia. A tradition dia. Then you created the Dankwa Buzia and kicked out the Dombo. So if the Ashantis have left and then that is Buzia has gone, and then Dankwa has come and is going, then you should go back to
the Ashanti.
The Ashanti people. No, Chamatin asem, non pesa Santini bia ebeba. I know simpacho, I didn't free tetina, I didn't say, and he says, no, I do Dombo Fosso. I do Dombo Fosso.
I see.
I do Dombo Fosso.
You see how smart the man is?
Yeah. Okay, the Achims. One block, Nusa. NPP. So they've been smart all this while. Yeah. It's that smartness, no. and they keep them up to date.
To twat everything to their favor.
True domo for so nti one domo no no hwan. One only mampusi ni ba. Baumia. Meanwhile no, the original dombo no kura no. Mampusi ani the gomba for no one can Dombo was a Dagati man. What Dagati ni?
Dombo Dagati.
Dagati powers into a free northern region. What baby? It is a do one so then you can kurum na kope. Kurum ni fabra. Enti ayantro. The only thing is that o man penny nipa onu ani nipa. Enti na say o ye you create story bia na ejitum nti in fact me now for years and for lawyers doctors which wonu wo mu yom say ha din wo e tradition wo say you buzi edi ye di atoto asesa ya ha dombofo na say edi dombofo no so and he thinks it's not dombo. And me patch say they think that when you say dombo it means that no. I don't know they are from the bring so but it's say a idea finance minister we born humadi and the whole world born abaso tesania Dr. Kwame Dufo mo jeje international prizes in India enke odebema no ko hwe ba wumi bia
anka odebema kenoforiata
anka odebema no easily no aka kira wo say na sa president Kofo ne time primary presidential primacy send na chiriba account o win yanke yam fama no nti we so mesu menu aketewa finance minister the whole world obi ase wa yade obeka one ade na nko de ma no obi hu say wanye adwuma ni ye nti wuntumi mfama nti saade a yam fama obi obe protect your interest. It's as simple as that. Na tradition there that we don't have it is not built, the argument is not built on any tradition.
All right. Anokye Frimpong Mame na me homra and yesu ade papa to da bia ye be kon say ya purely education and ye call Dr. Ibrahim Zubairu so Hanum doc. Good afternoon. Apom God. And then ye utimi say ya koyachi
I am tin pa a lot of things now things now working in and in fact I was so happy.
Mame twam homra.
Cobra.
Mafuya me ya. You say hepatitis. Me to ase. Me siremu. Asa why you be na ekiki me. Emuya me ya.
Maso bete. Mwani nsu bi hu. Ya wa happy. Ne we aba oh be here na nato so. Me fa me from say can I video? Say yes. I'm say okay. Odo come closer. Can you just start talking? No, just talk to her. So I feel me share me gaga abakakra. Me so ya wo abrochama me. Say can I kiss her? Say yes, so you can kiss her. Oh yeah. To be oh bra. To be ah krokro no. Oh da be sala ma hwe movies ya be hu de omo ye. Juice ya. Hey me na kan ye. Brody enu mbo san dan ya ne case de o de be ma ho. And we share the process now. One, smooth equipment no medical equipment no everything. And I want to say, oh here bibia ye adwuma na won fa maya obekasa. Yen ya hai no one. And then asem we mi chem yensa. One, medical equipment ni hwa. Eti party bi aba power. Openi po be ni CEO o kolebu. Nipo be ni CEO e Konfanoche. Party foforo ba pe nipo be ni CEO e Rage. Nipo be ni CEO e Tamale Hospital. Said be ya equipment na wo de ye adwuma ni ho so krampa. Ese ben kasa. It is a Tamale Teaching Hospital papa yi. Watena nsuo problem no ho one che. Watena hospital toilet facility enya adwuma 2 teaching hospital. Watena hospital ukwadunsa utreska 3 watena 8 years. So he thinks that in few what chekura no na wo something nani 3 months na be dedi. So normal. I mean why must you talk? Yet hospital in so bad today. So can we go aban any mase hwe catch her any sifo no omo ye bi mabo yense mama ye wombe bom se grag wombe bom se me say wombe da Pentecost 4 by force bom se wombe se madam moja se niema ye de ye adwuma ni hɔ a kasa ye famra de on say CEO no na ono ne politics in ne here no. But next person na no one chino kanya nsasem check mintaka no. So the equipment no. Fantastic. Just akwana nka. Kemintaka no.
Amamu problems.
Ye do baby a esese ye yemra. Sese ye yete we. Se judge bi. Yete wo sese ye. Se obi ye judge. Na yese we bu aten. Na aten na judge na bu no. Se ewo district court. Na we mbu ni yi a. Ye man so the case no ekọ security court. Security court mbu ni yi a. Ye de call high court. High court mbu ni yi a. Ekọ court of appeal. Appeals court mbu ni yi a. Ekọ Supreme Court. Supreme Court to kro man yi a. Yes aso ye review. But se nurse bi wo pan yesesi ama onai hono ne yetwa ye de ne kwan.
Asa.
Gana ye judge o.
Ghana had you.
Okay. Drive any two car. That's why we are petition. Na car ne pempran na okum nipa. Na so wanwu a posi for cheno. Ye na ko gina de kem.
Processing no.
A charge no with murder. Okum nipa. Ni ye de na tum. Se doctor be negligence emo bi wu a ono ye ndan.
E wo Ghana ha.
Wo Ghana. Eno ye ndan.
Menkai amanfo ya o. Wonim ye nua kofori.
Oh.
Ni yire kwa wo so. Say ya ye no CSAW empanie na doctors ni e de ye surgery no e jai wo oba no.
Ebi kaniyam.
Bi kaniyam.
Nti oye den fa so.
Uwi.
Very good.
Ba kola ne tiase.
Ono ye ye ne den.
Kofori ye nka ne ya o.
Say journalist. At radio so. E ka asem. Na se nye president bi da. Otumi suma me ye be check CaptainSmart we yi ase.
Ni no nyina ya che abre.
Very good.
Thank you.
Say nurse. No negligence. No obi wu a ono ye ne den. O Ghana.
We are century ni a judge for to make us work cassette and ya fro sebra. Ni a jelu.
We are soldier ni. We are police ni e wo Ghana. Etuo na ye de ama o se fa koye adwuma no. Wo to ne pay. Ne yesi bebu ho akonta.
E de be she guard room kra.
Se wentimi ambutuo no ho akonta yi a. Ne ya chew. Ne de what to guard room. Ne ya interdict. Ne ya investigate ni ya yiwadi. Se doctor ni ne negligence e mo bi wu a. E wo Ghana ha ono ye ndan.
Me say mama example. Me say oba no ye Ghana ni ye friend Gloria. We ye adwuma e wo guys in St Thomas Hospital e wo Westminster e wo London. Ofidi ne ba koko ene ode ma akwada na koko no trama akwada no e ma akwada na ye den ewi nti omu eye saa we no post otim no mu hu ne say
koko na ku no kwa na de koko ma no ne maame odem.
Thank you okọ jail
se ya yete hei
ne obi ya nurse no so asan age ni
TV ye bo yenim hei ekoma obi o CCTV na o CCTV no enso ena ode ko ba screen no e wo ho wo be ko na TV no so na screen na dwa na akwa ne se onye wo de ne koma police fo be ba be che no e de na ko
ka kire se ode ba ye na screen ye
ba mi bisa wo se doctor bi nurse bi the negligence obi wu a ono ye ne den. This notwithstanding say you are doctor for papa wo Ghana
omo kwa outside omo tibe inside no
womo ye wo doctors, nurses, midwives, ye wo health professionals papa e wo Nkrumah yenim bebre refined
doctors lebo money omo no
womo ho but ebinum wo ho a hwe papa ya womo regain license fi ni nsam say oyiyi ema omafu ye kase ya yesu obi ko wu on ho se den mu nsami
2-3 years ago.
Very good. Se ya me no kase ye won krofo bebre gu adam a nurse bi pane ode wo no ne to aho no ne nan aho no atum me yetwa nan yesi ya won pane boni pane no ya mfa nwo baabi a esese ye de wo hwe madam for police ni ba ko enam santi or retirement by force.
Untumi.
Make us say a post for inimuni. Say ya me no kate or to Western region or to Takrade.
Ebikura no hwe.
Wako hospital say when malaria. Ena you see ya be wono artesunate amodaya queen. Na ya man diclofenac aka ho
the bliss farm and the deba.
Na okwa na wakono no nduro kakra no so egu so ma ne ho ato no. Kewo se nurse no so fi club na ba yo. So free hin na ba yo. Eno an se otampane no. Police ni etodwe o se baby o de pane ne si no. Eye me yadodo. We me yadodo de ngmo no o se tu. No de awo baby foforo. Baby all the pani ya way second time me me yadodo. Na post this na usro pani away no way no de awo the third.
Dine.
Ene untimi nante ne nan ba ko so.
Post ni.
Yes.
Also on Ntim Fordjour na ko.
On Ntim Fordjour na ko ya render hopeless. Ya won disable. Say ya mana ya disable. Prekope. Enti yeni doctors bebre nti na yeni nurses bebre nti se obi yes amfom so na yenja ne kwa na hwe obi baba wadi 30 years wanyin sei bosome nkono nyin sei mu amane hunu se wonda pemfo achi da no pe na meka se wada pemfo achi da ennabi eni wa eya chese pemfo da wachi se pemfo da wachi a omufi 7 months ekono na sa woni na dakata kura obeda na beda woni ntimi nkum na abaya na do that stage
30 years
na ya hwe ne say yasin suo eni ho okay no problem the time na ya de ne ko theater ho no munim se nsuo ni ho say yensuo a eni ho nti ena ma ne wu ya time no mo de ne ko na nsuo ho time na mo de ne ko no na nsuo no wo ho ena sa kwam
oxygen ne keka ho
okay yesi na kane ni ho na time na mo de ne ko theater no na kane wo ho ena mo dum ni time mo ye oba ne surgery na the answer is no ade say yesinti obi pe baby de ade na ko hye sada be ya ono te say de Adam de ye Eve no Nyankopon ade nde nyame o metimma bi oba na wo bo ne ka me ho na Eve so say hey masa Nyankopon enyame o eyo wona enye obi amfa nhye no because wo pra na beduru aban so a aban ni obi o de be hye no
asa
nti aban ni owo no woni obi o de be hye no abaya 30 years ye keka ne ho fe no
same near abaya
wakunu
just like that
and that ye can na Nkrumah tie che say dan say ye yi CEO na di enti mpacho omo letter bi na wo kan ye no me nsa betumi aka
indefinite we no ye omo demand no
me pese me
Kevin mo san
me shesa letter no say sa o ma de na number 1 indefinite suspension of all emergency and outpatient services obi a wan ko bia yen di look hwe makacho say ye duru ba bia ho what kind of rollins the time then the see man ko fa Cuba doctors and nurses back
say yeah strike yeah
okay we crowd the strike o what you kromo a se kane adum a na wo se yen ko hwehwe energy minister senso ma yen ko hwehwe water resources minister se what you krom na school edan ebu a wo se yen ko education minister what Ghana ha dum so ba na wo hwehwe president but wunua ba wadamfo obi ba obi yire obi maame akọ hospital akọ na yesisi wonu mfiri ho na nipa foforo mra na yehwe na adwuma ne nkwaso a wo se wo kọ was suspended really demonstration oh sir okay kwabra mi ntaka no ni tirimu ye John Mahama ojo Mugabi, can you do this and Akufado? Very good.
Quick.
That is one thing. And Akufado man fa hundi. Obeji wedi. Ah, oka so ni sika nti ontua na sesa allowance. Oka che kwakwa menu. Kwakwa menu tumi tuai. Kono fa to tumi tuai. So man tua. Then see here. Aha. Oh. Teacher training allowance. Oka se sika ni ho. Me di twum mpre no so be kwa kotua. edu tu montu BBC na nipa wu na ye ka ebi before ye nwene nipa nkwa ho anope na me ka me wo tama me wo Fox no station back wo kuma say na accident asi reporter no ye azero bus no VIP no kase de bia de 52 no na sprinter no so 32 car no bom no nipa mienu pe nyame adom nipa mienu pe na ewu. If he presented no interview reporter no say ne nipa mienu pe na ewu so na wo ya adwen bus nipa 52 sprinter nipa 32 mienu pe ewu no sana yete wo kurum ha. We don't value human life enkwa nshada nya ade a ehia ye nti wawu a mani wu pacho ma me letter ne bium o ma de ne bium inpatient care shall continue for our clients currently on admission. Teaching hospital was something here. Say, one more hot that day. On my show. Na for na all bado. Me bomb pa said doctors and nurses yesterday no be in country. Na head on me. What was I near the Oyaba? What was I near the Ukunaba? What was I near the Omamiaba? Drive any driving careless there, post functional. But a whole facility, teaching hospital, penny or dano, eya de enye de my enka. Last one almost said a apology from the media houses. Nonsense. Nonsense. Yeah, be patch say when the catch us a video ni altar. When the catch us a video no obi altar.
Yeah, don't qualify apologies from the
minister. When the try video no.
Your mama hona.
Share with the video no so omo bo ahwe ni yi obi hu won try video no. Omo kan tim no fin kan call no ho. Won wa hospital hona. Ba ku phone na niam na wa chire ho no. Enti the what decide now o twa no. The what decide now o twa no. On the sun to twa we it is a wo hwe de yi a wo be hu say won a e twa video no won a wo kro na won wo hospital wa. Eti why na alter video no?
Ya kan do ne twa na so hin ne twa.
Na me nkwata me tena cha say obi abọ no wasafo yin wo krom ha na ma reinstate na ma apologize ye nhwa yarefo we sini yi enye se wo maketua na ban si ontua wo. Number 2 enye se bibi asay wo hospital wo na ban si onye wo. Enye conditions of service o. Na mum obi anye na dwuma yie
ama obi ba
wu akobu eti wo
well higher TVS was at an power 97.9 FM intino and some of the edoso yebekwa aba yeba na afi no yede dia kanso ayeden asan aba beto aso ene eye ebna ene eye yawada ti yebekọ victory ni ayeden ni aba intino yeko wi a yebesan ayeden aba captain wo kakra wo de beka ho ana sana chief birthday
honorable Julius Debra
na mo fa ne dance na nasa no to so ma me
nasa no de hen de na
enye kwa wo de
o de bi onim sa munya sa
honorable Julius Debra
o ja onim sa
was sa papa wo hwe video
o sa mezo pa nasa zonto
me say wo de cha zonto mo de mo fa na nasa no to so ma
o de ma me
oni papa ni ni
ma me wo shedo Honorable Julius Debra, Chief of Staff. Share. Kope victory garlic cases so. It's ya na won chain. Na watch the
legislature.
Good. That's the legislature.
Fantastic.
They all enjoy security of tenure. We are now about judiciary led by the Chief Justice. Now watch this. Chief Justice Yantono Swaba. Appointino. No converting. Our parliament na eye Ghana fo nyina yeto abama wo no and be approving no
on all Supreme Court judges.
Fantastic. So watch this. Chief Justice and so our security of tenure of office. Want to mean sorry aputupuru say we president na wo bo ni dinti. We say mapamo there be yenya sa. And mother say as a so go through a certain process and so what to me daddy. Now watch this. Sir, Chief Justice be a tenure no. President or appointee no. Obet me the president we eja wako. Because enye co-terminus. Eti President Kufuor na ball ye maame Georgina Wood din. Ama na be Chief Justice mbwa.
Yeah.
Odiwe no say President Kufuor koy. Because Georgina Wood any President Kufuor tenure of office no enye co-terminus. Eti Georgina Wood stay office. And a President Kufuor koy. And a Professor Mills bae. Oba no beto Georgina Theodora Wood. Ono no so ye adwuma. Professor Mills Wujano. Emma 2012 no kra ende ye. Major mama be winning elections. Georgina Wood wa ne Professor Mills anko because on Professor Mills one more tenure no enye co-terminus. Owie ye no obeto John Dramani Mahama. Emma Mahama lose 2016 elections. Akono wa ne John Mahama anko because one more tenure no enye co-terminus. But time be a Chief Justice uba misconduct you are saying that your tenure is co-terminus with the president who appointed you. So this time we are not talking about anything, we are talking about misconduct. Let's say this, last week you buy me baby omo drafte Charlotte say letter na di na di
Jubilee House.
Jubilee House baby ana proposal office one
The office wa
baby ana sa office no one a proposal kwetena mu no e ho na omo drafte ta letter no.
Oh, Jubilee House.
I mean can say proposal na drafte here
By the office.
But there be sad dining na kwetena ye de ne call host ko here as the political head my chief of staff no sad dining ebi omo drafte yansa oba ebi so obeton yansa here drafte whichever there was a draft but I sad dining and you did Charlotte say ono so nanado who say bibi eni asase so betimi dey you know aje misconduct because Charlotte said terminal tenure no enye co-terminus but the omo who say ye misconduct no omo the woman minetiko. Now watch this. Chief Justice Emran say we nya bo din ya approve pe SSA we submit bibia your friend some Sadia no can say we go do properties e ko no ye fe say we submit we japade a wo no oh me fe di ni sesia
of Canada
asset declaration. Thank you minia esa we declare wo assets. Now watch this. Asepa for ehu se ma me na be di Chief Justice wa bro bosome mienu bosome nine or kwa afe ma misaki Mrs. Tokunu on declare ne assets.
Wow.
And omo tro letter ntem
command
e copy ma me no mo de be call Shraj say Shraj mo investigate ye ma me na mo kan kire de say on declare
Thompson
yes
Asepa
on declare ne assets no and tem enfiemienu when declare assets no and a Shraj e ka chen say on fa ne response mra as Chief Justice when him say Shraj so won say no why do me so ye Chief Justice wo so but Shraj a commission into be any control e wo mo so commission Shraj commissioner no ono so ne tenure of office no enye co-terminus into president bi betimi aboni din wo beko not ho so em short otrache anke short he had a long meanwhile his name is short
yeah but ujadimpa
eto ho wo mo tro ma me na when him response or the commercial Raj or say COVID-19 intina went to declare the asset
declaration of assets
oh bra
Chief Justice
Mensa Thompson mo pa mo friend sesi na mo san sasama me kan me boa
was it COVID-19
or say ma me say COVID-19 na about 2020 no enu nti na ama na ntimi declare ni assets
this year appointing in 2019
and also COVID-19 nti na went to declare ni
now we ajapade a wo sesi ebisa wa untimi enlist wo Japadi.
So Ghana for should listen. Emrana oh. You see, CaptainSmart are not so sad day. PokuMugabi are not so sad day. One to mean chesu a change constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
No one is
Constitution is to declare your assets as an Article 71 holder. Mamina the reason or the commercial charge they say COVID-19 in tea. It is to be catch say COVID-19 tea. The BBI say wo how can you argue with that person? That's right. But this is misconduct. Enti yem fan say Yama Chief Justice no ono na tena ohwe power atemuafo a titiri wotena Supreme Court cases so. Enti yem fan say se ne busuani bi so ono so declare ne assets. Na case no kwa through High Court through Appeals Court na ebedu Supreme Court ha. Pacho aseme no beka ho. Because me am na me Chief Justice man declare na wo wan declare na ye den na ye den ye book constitution no enimtia. So this is clearly misconduct. It has nothing to do with criminality. This is purely misconduct. Enunti ena Nkrumah petition nanado constituency executive member baako ewon kan he ya kan won petition akufado say onyi mami tokunu no letter na nanado Troy come Council of State lelikiye ntime wo copy say Council of State enhwa asem na say ebo ne be yi a winim time na asem ne kobaye no BBC ye wo mo tro financial malfeasance Nkrumah no feel say enyame wo tro petition no feel say wo manya information from the Judicial Service Office of the Chief Justice say they think that there's some kind of financial irregularity to bia akoso ewo ho enya kwentro ne keke. There's a 10 million Ghana cedis case bia eba so hey wait, you see, that's what I'm saying, that the issues that we are talking about, and I am so very much happy about the composition of the committee. Our president has said no one shall won't tears here. Soldier need be obi bebu sa won say why an army officer and a work committee a Chief Justice say yes ye be yina na say ye nyina. When in the entire soldier ni no ho Fabiko nkrata bi twemu ho nkrata bi eden etwemu ho nkrata bi eye kwana pass etwemu ho o soja fo no enti ese soja ni bi ono so nim nkrata em ebem no wetimi ahweme hu se we de ani eye soja fo we efaye ho we emfaye ho. Now when in the enti odi double level ko ye so no so auditor general, because there's an audit report, so you need an experienced auditor to go through the audit report. Now, nanado, wamomano evidence of Charlotte say justice ye CJ ye you know. Okay. Oh you know. I think the time is too short to do this. Okay, we're going to plunge this country into chaos, and I think that's what we need to hold on. So make sure that we finish with the elections. And when we are done with the general elections, we can then sit down and then look through the matter. Take care. And then for in the meantime, I suggest that we should let us stay and we'll finish the elections. CaptainSmart. Because external auditor no, sanya mahama time no your auditor no. There be o. Oh yeah, no what time? Another. Mo. It is a ye catch external auditors. It's a monko audit Chief Justice nature say nanado na ba yin nature say. It's assembly ho. Very good. Eboboba. Enti enya mahama o. Ojoja. What we are talking about is misconduct. It is not the president. And you see, me a lawyer. So I am appealing to me now for a lawyer for to say, I issues no. We should try to decouple or divorce politics from national issues. Yeah. Very, very important. These things, a serious matter, law school for the best there. So, as I say, ye buy a seminary. Pacho, Say Chief Justice Owokunu. Very good.
Husband.
So Oba.
Oba.
Very good. Pacho Nikunu or a judge.
Dabi.
Okay. Nikunu or a bailiff.
Dabi.
Okay. Nikunu or a court clerk.
Dabi.
Okay. Nikunu or a circuit court supervisor.
Uja Dabi.
Okay. Or a vacation judge.
Uja Dabi.
Okay. Nebaba no or interpreter or court.
Uja Dabi.
Okay, now watch this. What man say? So pese otu kwanya. Ah. Ese eye ono. An executive secretary. Ena aban bebo mo hoka. Teniye say official
unim
tripper. And it is stated clearly. Ese ono. Ene the secretary. Ena aban no bebo won hoka. Number 2. Say eye bibia a judicial service mpanifo na etu kwan. Aye wotumi tu kwan. Eko miambia kwhwe se de de ma kɔ ne ade ni ade a
ba me fa hoka.
Ese ɔno nso no ɔtro na ya approve say ne office ne mu enipa ɛwɔ hɔ de bi judges ne bi ɛkasa official trip no ho na ban atuaka. Okay. Who call private acquaintance? Private acquaintance. That has nothing to do with Abai. It was not official because the official SSA wotro. It sounds like any official anti one tro. And Wakufa do audit report the mo.
And yet we impo.
And all kono and of fa nikunu ka ho.
Hey.
And of fa ne ba e ka ho. Ne baba. And ne peso. And a boom.
Modia Bansika.
And a omo business class.
We share a baby and a pabacco. Utiminya and Pademo, Jujo home.
Etnemu.
Anybody.
Poor Waba.
Wow.
According to the report, though, Minia, Oba no pay them $10,000 to Dukunu. Onua Nkasa $10,000.
$20,000.
Nebaba no $10,000.
$30,000.
Okay. That time now, Okoye no, that dollar near 16 cedis, 80 pesos.
Almost 17.
And so the infant says 16, you need a good soon. That's just a womokoba and a cunning net, you know. Ah, Nipa could be a quento back on Cobayano, and for so near you are quentum. I a friend per diem no, 1.6 billion.
One trip.
How? I mean, how? Look, how?
What yana yeding?
How? How would you do this? No, I mean, some of the things in the audit report, I will not sit here and say them. I think that committee would find their own way. You remember, say, Umupia Assembly Coma, Council of State.
Okay.
So she appeared. Okay, Council of State, what's this? If she had spent the money through the due processor, do you think she would have opted to pay?
As a judge.
Voluntarily.
As a way out of course.
She says, I will pay. So why would you pay?
We will be in your same sana koko to kano kase.
Yes, why would you want to pay that money?
Out of course.
If indeed you spend the money based on due process, why would you want to pay? Why would you want to pay? You don't have to pay. The only thing you can say is that, yes, I followed due process.
You defend yourself.
This money, here, there, so. But now you are saying you pay. So you leave another buying office to another buying office for enjoyment. Why?
Do man abro.
When him share, no etimi akosu because in this country, we have a lot of unclean hands handling holy issues. There are a lot of unclean hands in this country handling very, very holy issues. People were doing things in this country with total disregard. They had no respect for anybody. They thought that they own Ghana. They thought that as a Adiana Ekosubiano, somebody up there at the epoch is doing same. So if I do same, what is it? Let me just do that.
DNBC.
Yes, DNBC. So now watch this. Look at how or answer how you can just say that this person is a Ghanaian. Or say birth certificate. You mean you use birth certificate. Am I young kasa wo ye Ghanaian? Because birth certificate no. O maami din, ene o papa din, ene woso. O papa ye Ghanaian, o maami ye Ghanaian. Me aya wo me no. Pacho me ye Morocco ni.
I'm free to nation.
You see, so sometimes I feel that we should start wiping away the unclean hands holding some kind of holy issues in this country. Look at number 3. How this Speaker of Parliament and idea issues no echo here. Let me say this to you. A lot of people don't know. They're not afraid of him. Ask her. I go find the song.
On the speaker, then.
Oh, and do baby the night time. When was that night time?
So defend the abay.
And I was that night time. To the point to say, case be a bind the court to be a ODBM.
Ma the then national security.
Would I try me about before that Nkrumah kasa our cabinet? Me about. One more call cabinet meeting no. Ma cabinet meeting no mo call ya. Omu fi mo ba ya kandapa. Ebe make his statement no. Sa cabinet meeting no ma was here. The old boy was angry. The other was angry
at the meeting.
That some of the cases Onua no hemo to use where they ready for. How did this happen?
Somehow.
Then a whole national security minister, listen, Uko America ne kase obi a chief security own. Chief. The whole Ghana bambo yina
national
security minister or 2 coordinators
Francis PokuMugabi
and the coordinators no 1 deputy each tinipa 4
and
so more security meeting national security meeting kanda party na do beche na ba omi atena ni nifa na kanda party na ni bonkum. This is kanda pa position. Oba bontin be can say the judges no no
kachire omuampo
the judges no no threat to national security. Say I bind the case be a court
one way.
Now one way. Who was then the Chief Justice? None response here.
When it doesn't.
When him say, apart from military takeover, are they a man to question communities pa attention? Say bu attention on. Say asase kura fia when him pass was assassini. Ne ye do court
genuine
documents. Ne ye bu kom katasese ye bu kom ne ye je asasini fi wunsema etesen.
Yeah. Boka ye dem
boka ne ye kodwiri wudanya to agu kwa. When him say time na ye checheme no na maka nsamo. Ye cheme ba ko judge ba ko a wo mo na wie I'm sorry wo mo na kasa. So the idea was that you did me force no. The plan said judge no on remand me. me try me kwaye ku wo okay eti judge no me lawyer no sorry bafo
yeah
any lawyer Samuel Sapon sorry omo kasa wie and the prosecution the prosecutor was there no on so national security akwabi
ya chi abrew
ono so sorry ye kan asem ni nyina onsa wo kasa wie na judge no wosini tias na fe otro no abeka and odani nani no catch the police no ho say bring the handcuff, he will remand him.
Prosecutor no?
Yes, in an open court.
Wow. So
I was like, so me share no
remand CaptainSmart.
And a woman in also a done any here na nti metina lawyer back say you are talking too loud, how can you say judge this in itiase so the two case na shadow so be you nobody has heard the verdict of the lawyer and the judge now went to me catch a police and say blah 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 remand no come bring the handcuff, he's going to remand him. Judge no super judge here or said the accused have been granted bail to appear certain date. Yes, 2 sureties to be justified. 2 sureties to be justified no HSA yanko hwe ofie ene casco fie na mo mam bail nya no ano no ade na judge no ema pronouncement no 10:42 am no
be di 10 no
ebo 6:40 then say afi the court na pon
mbekepu
ena omudi mi chin enkan abonte so
twaso
mi hu bi da
kai na speed
ya de mi nam GH boy so to me nchen ena national security sirens hope yedua omutwia no mufi wa na sa no ko bi agum no me de me nam afei na me GH boy me say hey je so empanish wo mo yedu ba bia me say medwun so no mo gina ti egina sa wonju so we na me say wo sha me mu me say medwun so or you want to shoot me
taba me nyun so
so mutu kan e kwa kakra me say medwun so edu ba bi o say o mam so na me say wonju so medwun so ka yi me say am wo hu na afei wa say gina what happened? Somebody told a senior person B, and that senior person also told another senior person B. They had wanted to transfer the judge. Why? Because judge now remanded me. You know what? There was another female judge. Atama me can say Galamsey. They said the AC Kono. The presidency is involved in Galamsey, and also Yabacheme. Can a papa ever chime yes?
No funeral.
Oh, me also am here national security for baby ginger. Me here am starting semester. Some no my demand. Ti me say the operation here no. Eti me hu ya we na se wona ana me catch madam for abene ko say minti na mo ha no. No so debi. Na say na Saturday. Am so dey hwade
e chiwa na jwa de be de no akokasa.
Ana me sorry ana me call mo nchen.
Otete wo mo.
Ana me catch mo say mini
manyana bako
and almost say can I pass here and found and I'm so okay meant to be for fugu nkwada sell eti momfa be fie
me fata dia
na me mfa t-shirt na yenko and indeed they followed me
to your house
me don be gina Tantra Hills no me so mbe wura me fie na me so wura me bi Nkrumah no
no je o magun
me nka cho say me dwane
di twa me
because me ndi awu me nya boni bia at the bonena ekosutia o man no na me ka ho asem
no ho chie no
and me kofa me shirt na me two perfume gu me ho fine ti me bedu me car no me bedu ho no me se me ntom car na me se nan niema as if se me ntimi petrol wuje we want me nche me boni amaye for you to totally overhaul me into your car. It is a whopa momo bi metna me nchen
yenko
na yenko me metum ka
period
na me freka ndapa am so ofa was say ya meche me o say an ntini o momra na ye Saturday one kasa na o say ya nche me mra no where are you o say bi ni ho mo kuma say kana pam o say me bo o me kan chem sem mo
ofre ofa
Oh, Bisano.
He might need this year. Kwabrini.
At the end of the day, no. Edu baby no say, Afasi, you know this our job. The powers that be. The powers that be. I had no option than to instruct the guys to come and pick you. Senior, Saturday I actually yes, I didn't national security.
Imagine.
Your mom was so packed. Any Nima police station. And I'm a tekani
from
Tantra to Nima
police station. Be any hoje.
You didn't buy Nima.
I just want Ben.
You didn't do one Nima commander and say
Nima
commander and say on Jimmy. And then I demand a court transfer no. Because they are Chemi Santi say CaptainSmart chana from police be
with dear semper.
Yes, Sandy Metina came. Papa Medina.
Allah.
You come Medina, almost Medina sells so I am
from Tantra to Medina.
And I feel sanity there.
You came with Tessa.
Sanity there. What the
member? My 7.
Osuha baby. It's a baby. Police be shy baby. There will be a hospital be one.
Cantonment baby police.
Cantonment there is a cantonment there's a warfare. And watch that baby. And I know so. You could change our side and you know, Mrs. Sanity there. Young national security for officer. They are copaki. Chief. Yes, see. And I'm say, Ade.
My head.
I'm say, I feel there. Young Konamin coach me statement. Only maybe I'm time with me call. I'm saying me coffee. Na me die.
Oh.
Edwada, my poor Juma. Let me say, Maya bin in them. What I'm saying, Maya we mo. Omo yen no ma.
Maya.
Ho I be hwehwe me. Eye mintia. Na me call back what I'm catch say me na wo hwehwe but say wunnim na wo get too close and me do nyame. Moja be nwunu. Oh, Captain, you have to take it easy. You know, we are doing our job, so you have confirmed. So you are from the national security. Chimie.
Wow.
And on the tree mukoye. Thursday, my poor Juma, Rambo style
of arrest.
Jubilee House in Chain, when him say you cannot arrest anybody less than 200 meters from the presidency at gunpoint. You are not supposed to do that. It's tantamount to coup d'etat because anybody around can also hold a weapon and fire. What will happen to the president? And because these guys are party boys, they were not trained. They know nothing about national security. The architecture has been vandalized and it's been thrown out of joint. And your mom is so pa. Jubilee House in Chen Home wow. And you me call NI before no officer. It will. And Chakwana better card man or clock it to them say chief. My main can't say more inch now never me kai. Guy and say, Debbie, send me what's up. I'm saying, look, let me tell you this. Maybe you think I'm CaptainSmart sitting on radio and TV. But there be a 2 day cut out minimum to channel. Eti say 2 now. What car ni mu? Wo beto. Toyota Fortuner glasses in now was so. What better front where you to akoke wo beto.
Na be.
I say oh there be na am say that's a wo meto there. And the fashion ho anya sami movie car no. Sami ka say no massa free CaptainSmart reinforcement to say den.
Ipa ba kope.
Now about 18 of them wielding AK-47s and pistols. Now criticizing. Eti car be fi Jubilee House eba. Now for mu hu de e kwaso. Nti say me am hwe adi nam so no. Mamingum. No mo de me kwase. Me do one am say me nikum meda. Am say he. Am say me he. Meda. Akonya na de ma me na me to mu na meda.
That was your man ma me na you know.
Meda. Just what and I'm penny for the buy. Come over. Yes, I'm Kocaine bill, and Kocaine. Monday, young court. Near the call or by judge. Eka say, come ye, my minity. Yes.
Yes, more.
You see, this is the kind of judiciary I am talking about. But you'll be a friend vicarious liability. Papa when I tell for me ko apam secondary school. We man ko bium.
Wachira de na.
Se se ya yeto wi. Se wo me ma betena ha ya menye adwuma wo ha yi. Boso so anya ha na yetua meka. Wo papa ma no yi meka. Na menka asem ya. Enya no koremfa obi hu. 1 ye besiu me. ye be si wo
as a host
ni ya say si company no aka ho den tin ye si company no company no na ma platform no it is a judge bi ya ade a enya why ho ne yeko but why kwan
asa
yeah chief justice wo na say chief justice na mu ne misconduct no ho a
asa
ave asem ni si a ye de kwan
bia bi asa ho
it's na NPP from penifo ni kro yim na kanda pa ka say the way aban ADB mu court bebrebe no a threat to national security.
Catch judges NPP for judges in bebrebe NPP for no mutim bi omote
baby a yedru no ho me I think say ye ma me ahofe obapa eni kwan say oma obeko why lucky kura say yes ye ntwa ma TV so me ye president me ka bibia
ka bi me
oh
no go check
constitution me
constitution article
ne say
was it in
camera constitution e fetish time no offer sika na constitution no wen offer oh yes anema na constitution no wu well you see you do baby a won as I said we need to adopt certain diplomatic democratic military strategy diplomatic democratic military strategy to certain things because almighty America Guantanamo Bay dey no mote here Guantanamo Bay woman te say ye ko dua bro ho wodi nsamfo na ye ko je watu be nim say grown am America jo as we speak obekwa kwatena ho you are suspended look she will not come back
maybe
as a chief justice no me say me ni kuna kametunfo ma resign
asa
committee o commission o the auto enyanto the otu enyantua
asamasa
your excellency I have resigned honorably
asa
asem no emfa na asem ko enti medema no si no mesre John mama owie pe onko jemensa so ompam no
onko ana bi nka no
oh say nana do set president no to ho ye pam only 2 deputies neko into opam jemensa onfa 2 deputies din kana
bossman ne apia hene
bossman ene apia hene enko the reason is that hwe omem ha yet no ho
asa
yetimi wo say
ayasemo
asema na kan obi onyina di
oni jemensa
owie jemensa me check ni pa fofo so nsan yina di na sa John anyi wo madu obete pega Nkrumah mon kan kire no
oja
watch this we easy boss you declare results
elections they declare a polling station
we fi polling station now wo ko hin
constituency coalition
it is a free coalition center is it legal or is it illegal
I see what they are illegal
okay
there's no place to any
oh okay say illegal they are illegality e course so 2024 elections we mun kwa enough grounds say ke jemensa ba na no kasa tender in resignation okofie dada under your watch etuo pay nipa 8
say hwe bibia ayawa so west wagon
ba normal
by elections
kaswa 2024 etuo pay nipa 2
our commission normal
normal
okay
ana mbwa
again is that
easy mobile metric verification machines ayira na yede na muhu
normal
enu yade to abani bi na wo he
ni asem
se yade to abani bi a when a verify who say na vote nguso
to abi
se am fan to abani bi a adentin yakra machine aba yede beto abani 1 2 bi we nko aho yetimi yinadi
Blekomanov besine ni MP
sa okay sa
4 years
omanya MP da
omanya representative in parliament
we sa na we nyina timi koso because yenya president a ode abotre ni trimodin bu oman na da ye benya sa Kwame Nkrumah strategy ni bi abotre trimodin ka ho eye dangerous che obi odwo
je bi lan kwado ye omu
abotre etrimodin nipa no wa abotre president Nkrumah fra mi Otumfo can send me na chairman say kwajo na say papa o say wi ase niam mienu na eya kwase abekum nyansani
eya
say obi ya kwase a say otimi hu sakwa we po jo ho ya kwase a
kunyansani
na ese nyansani bi na ho akwai akuno
bodamfo ne de ababo bitiremako ati wase
akuno noko baby a yedru sese wo Nkrumah no ese say another advice president Kufuor ma me say etoda muna wutirim na sere ewanim
akomamu no
na ye adwuma no ye na fise asase so ye we nso hye bie ni asase so a efa nipa
so nyuno na fa nipa
won epoehye bofo bie ni so no eponsuo no
tiase
enu ti do baby a yedru no senior yenyi NDC nto nchen yemfa NPP nto nchen na yembisa ye ho one simple question say ade ya chief justice ye
yana
sanka ya American ke be kale
ode mesiwa
ode sia
Madam Inua, CaptainSmart as from Onua TV hosting Adoyenso Atnase live on TV SYZ and also on Power 97.9 FM. Yava like I say from Medimosis Clinic and Eba Center Madaruma can be near the Jumedi Ebro. The medical capsules at the Aba Ijaso, the Peduano Moja Betime, the Peduano Mafusani, ye Brunebeka say blood circulation. That is a medical capsules in Ibn was a Winya Bobo, a manum Bemanum Pibine to me MWOW, na we still immune system no na niam ntumi konkan ema prostate na tete wo menua be ma sexual weakness, male and female infertility, hypertension, diabetes kwa wase bro ma
yade
muntete 26 no wote subi
ya de wako 2019 na pa ya yo chief justice
apa ho sapa obi ho
I'm so retirement I'm so retired eti wo hwe ade na wotimi say ye call by rules of engagement ewo how are you select ayina seniority na do baby a atuguba ebe ye yina no eye because say no wodi animu aye sign ho e de kokoma nipa foforo so ne je no na ke say atuguba and the chief justice ade yetwa no ho am say omode ma Sofia Kufu so ho eti sadwa manuama we bi ana etoda ema oman ne ye den yenko yanim na maye brief ayi kakra Tokono Efri Winneba in the central region of Ghana.
Afenyo
that's right. Enti what the make na wo connect dots no ne kai ka ho. Enti afenyo timi issue rate on 12 noon. That by 2 ni aye Monday ni etie. No bi susu di akwakoda ho no ma mosumi mienu mosumi yesa ni emfiu ni ade no. Sa pepe. Enti sa what say?
Winneba powers.
Afenyo market se ni abre defend na tese wa hu baby free
wa NPP afenyo market
yeah no wa hu baby free so on yete no eti se ma me ni esi ana so yesi nde ye ya na me mpese meko into that you say ebia we you say after all in the line of President Mahama left no from baby ediko baby so on yete no
time bi anim
nti o time bi anim me nko ka se wo sa party we ana say wo sa party
sana bi munti
sa na wo hwe yese wo ne ye ene usuban ana ebe ya de no yese wo ho fede obeko na usuban de obeba so ho ne tie no yes wo ho fede wakọ obia jatum say yes we chief justice wo tutu nua kama na mbom wo ne ye bi ne ye no ebi ni sei wo hwe kwan ya ofa so ebra na o mo hwe sa election related issues na tadio sorry ya we raise issue against one of the panel members wo ka kire o mo say sa papa ya woti hoidie ayi wotena so bia enyeye adenti no wotena so bia enyeye because we contested as MPP parliamentary candidate in one of the constituencies in Volta region eti wotena so bia enyeye wo kita the poster ebra wo contest ye ni poster me say asem na wo kana na to chief justice no presiding oh Mr. sorry we've heard enough it's okay sit down hey lawyer ni jina wani mu kasa enti mando kwan kra na ko wie
mo hwɛ saa video no ma me sese a whatever
so
production team
mando kwan na ka won kasa wie because we raise serious allegation against one of you enti wa mo just one example you can say evident wo toaso just what toaso be expose wo munti no ade wo man nkasa kra that we shutting it down. Look, one of the basic as I say, Chief Justice would say, "Who bet me a control with temperament." Say, "We Chief Justice," and I say, "Okokonya, how can you run the judiciary?" Say, "Obi can have some legitimate concern." Now, womanenka, we shutting it down. I don't think say fair. Eti eno ebetimi aye one of the reasons in there among for so na wo hwese ne wo se ye no e wo court ho na clearly no you can state it as misbehavior so ne ete no eno no free ho no ma ana ya bobo so a se ehu sika sem ne ne kakeka ho now you see ade no ye kiremu a ye nkiremu ye now when it comes to travels ye wo official travel and private travel nidina is captured the official travel no wo kwa and no dey wo call with your security detail so dey no state no and the fahoka say wo call private traveler and no state no efa won kwa wo hoka sa audit ya omuye ya oka say wo use scabi no na e official travel. It was a private travel. Wanene kunu nene ba no. Na private.
No makwaje per dem.
Makwaje ho per dem. $10,000. Mo twitwa mo yi at a point kra no. Ye say do mo ho no mo no. O san frɛ kra mo sa change ticket no to word BBB or mo upgrade from business no. E ba no call first class.
What I say.
No kwa na mo upgrade e ba no call first class no. O mo say tua $9,000 in addition.
They take it.
Yes.
Bomaneka.
Adia, Chese, Auditor General na a capture side way no.
Captured in the Auditor General's report.
Report.
But besa Auditor General, why Auditor General some here can?
Eh na kufa.
I know much them here. Now we are quite some Mahama. Auditor General.
Auditor General.
The Auditor General.
And some them no be at test.
And no ankasa kra no, but say Judicial Secretary no e call for that audit. Ano mo aye a che say ade na ba. Na edru baby a afa we say sa 9,000 na wo mo ye na additional ne de obetua fidie na cho
papa nka obetua
fidie na yi no
ayi no just what the media question mama na so do ko
ne ko she wire no
yeah ehim yes o twin ko baby enfa the mere fact is say waje atumu say the mere fact is waje atumu say oh adina mfa kwa mu eti metua ne bag no ascetic ground yes on my bike I'm a boy it is finished
it is what
it's finished it's finished
aguranesi
it is finished you see these are some of the things what say embryo adamungo god o mo sun fidie na to so on dey no o kokotena so what would dey no Supreme Court judge say I'm so me 14 say emu two pe ana bako every president Kufo na bako free John Mahama
ya kanyina na don go for
12 na kanyina president Kufo ebra wa appoint o say hey who package judiciary no wo dim ni opese wo ye because or more said the next 20 years no they should have total control in the judiciary. So that no. We go kwatena ya.
Unim di ntia. I'm sure no tell me. Why Nanado nene team no episode will take you over judiciary. No. Let me tell you something. So as a result of this
book we did in captain.
Murder in the palace at Chebi.
Murder in the palace
at Chebi. It was written by one ACP H.A. Niama.
We are book on Ache.
Oh, Ache. Okay.
That's the name of the name of
time na war pay. Also, there were 3 arms of government.
Yeah.
Now, your executive, your legislature, your judiciary.
Yeah.
Now, executive no. Now we feel say abrofo no be dan am JB dankwa. Abrofo na anye. And there's a book a chere wire. Na abrofo no mpene say JB dankwa. Betime di o man name. There's a book which they know. Because now abrofo no nim say JB dankwa a traitor. Odi di Kwame Nkrumah won konkonsa na CIA fo etua ne ka
America.
Through American embassy. Chokwa no akwaje kewo. Chomo chi ni tum kura na na sika ne nko no. Oba no kwa American embassy ambassador no so ekobusa say why are you not paying me?
Kodin sekuro.
Enfe no to. Eti executive ni fi wo monsa. Kwame Nkrumah fi Western region. Waba Accra. Abeji ododo aboso. Ema JB dankwa ama people teacher. Akana to form say team.
Even in prison kura obini.
Eti when nya executive arm of government no. When nya judiciary. Then afterwards no, JB dankwa was defending this case.
Murder in the palace at Chebi.
Okay. And then they realized that say nya executive. Na nya legislature there.
Judiciary no.
Ye judiciary hone there.
Yamfa.
Ye betimi abɔ awuram.
Apake ho.
Afa horo said ye pe. Nti efi enakui no. Krachi ni bia wo ye busuan mu.
Ose o yellow.
Wo ahemfie ha no. Ese o yellow.
By force. It's a mafia.
Ese se o yellow. Because ni na kogruba ye the aban case beba court.
Obeye merenimfo.
Ni na kogruba ye the legislature asem no ye the beba court. Nti yen so yenji judiciary no emmoso. And inside this book bet was so much as sika to one of the bribes for cases. Them na make am
book no neka.
Another day story.
Asama na mike am say say justice atugu babeye chief justice no yade ma George na Wood no. Peni bi attest abra Mrs. ya. Eti nanka on nanka eseye ana yesa no ho yade ma George na Wood. Ani ade. Eti sadwe ba we nyina ayeden akoso bibia said wo hwedo no yem paki honom ne ade. Eti e ka say mu yayi mo paki ho last minute to say omo de nomination go na minority amana amaso beti no anti mamaso so on
to Supreme Court
to Supreme Court come say the two kwa ka na ka 16 eti wo de yen set panel be ye ne oho ni da no chese office I mean it should not be so that me benim say sadi we ekowie committee ni wie na dwuma na afi omo recommend say on konkotran nchen wo wie na president confirm the acting chief justice
Justice
Bafuboni no de bakumi enu bi kokoka ho a afi na ora adwuma no ba be hyase afi ana
Justice Bafuboni so na yire Mrs. Bafuboni so na call director general prisons order ho
sir
na yire
oh I see
Ochi corruption man
on pekata
papa no
oh sir me no
obehe omoso ho
oh me no
Ochi corruption
by the way principle
papa no
Justice Bafuboni
yeah
on pekata
fa ni de chi be 3 kilometers away obesense apa
pata se chale pro
Bafuboni
yeah eti media medium say this country you be move to right direction
to we make say Bafuboni na do no so a kofo na appointed no
oh dabi look hwe one who say odim raso a it doesn't matter nipa no the political affiliation or be lawyer to you now there's a man for asensa no it is how the manner no was it we go di NPP achi e dey say na wo gan we be lawyer to the state no hwan president is the state
first gentleman of the land
president ka say law I don't even say no
exactly
wo kasa say ene ma wo bia move nkwa ha say ya law
would be move you
law wo ma directives a law eti na demo ya ka de say Ntim Fordjour say omo enya you know omo ya me wan no president a direct say collaborate with him and get to the bottom of the matter. And the security for Romoti to wedding. Wamoti ho yeding.
Time in the vessel.
I didn't know before set time on so as I say, man, just say, Keno, yes, one persuasion phase. Force must be applied.
Jackpot.
Share other as someone I'm in the walker. Ewo ushoso. Alata nda meka say omukoko bia yimano. What's a meka 18th January no. What's a ebisa bimpo okay to me. It says so 18th December. And I make 18th January. Hey, Ntim Fordjour fan World Cup. Hey, what say? Sabi, just say you Mahama get in Angasa, you be a man for Eddie America honum. God so good for me, or frame me. Adam Gajan man.
Recently,
me na me gajo. Adam say I sleep. A year 18th December 2024. Now, if you walk or grantee interview
on this.
No ade amedia ye do no angasa opa omie na nunka biem. Opa omie na nunka biem. Ensese ye de oman no edi agro. Asema ye ka ye serious issues. Look, man so omo de atoto ayi say Swissport omo ache ye container be passes they suspect say ebe this me say mo President Mahama ba mo na ban no mo na baso
boy juma
mo na baso because we be nani na first no na what it is ade no
there be that.
Are you telling me say na no mo dey ba e come head there bia o na so baby aba we say look who this year you beka I don't know mo ba be dey na adiba kwa ya me ya ne say look se mo chi say na mu jadi pana let us get to the political affiliation be fanto abonte
ihu mo ye umudi say dwa
mo ye sade no wo chi wo mo a let us dig
deep
sansanfo no betwa so e wo kromu ase so wo de no that me bia adameka hwe Mugabi me kokotena airport wo mede makuma fita
sentina wo free ho no omo ma o free ho nya asembia
mini asembia na meje madwene se sanu bone no ne NPP di ni de ehu eti no me make sure
bibia ntwam
mo obi nkonkwo gidi mbone that time wo bo ndu bone na wo bo President Akufo-Addo din a na ehu eti me make sure se me ma bibia ensi ewo honum
ense ni din
so wo de no eti chese wo hwe ne aguko okoso na eyade a ehu kakra na wonim ma me endagresi kakra bi papa ya ye frɛ no Zoom Lion
sa Japan
wo say sa aprapra ayi a eya o sign contract with YE ma hu say Manasseh Azura raise issues bi na wo hwɛ issues na look media for mum picking it up mum make sure say Ghana emrantia ne mabawa wo munam kwan ho prapra as a staff of Zoom Lion no wo mu benya justice abai ni wa sign contract say bosumeso a member 850 Ghana cedis sa 850 Ghana cedis no Zoom Lion de 250 enema omo ye adwuma no ono ankasa wafa 600 ne there was say administrative charges
is it true say it will be 250 Ghana wa
255
bisa mo prapra kwan ho no
why a deep investigation on this
na first no grade say na omutua say 150 150 and I need as I say you make sure see I take this matter up na me hwe say
e be di akire
Malik Basintali obey steady
the new
CEO of YE
Miami New
Malik man in science a contract in it. Wow. Man in science. Now, president enhwe say nkombe biem ama competition aba system no mu. Akwakoye nipa ba ko the whole Ghana. Na no ne hu. Numbers na papa no be submit no. No motua. 45,000 people times 850 near Tuamano. Every month. Now, what go why here now bisase? Under normal circumstances, no. Why here for and the recruiting crofone? No more the ama Zoom lion. Na omo ye no omo discard ma Zoom lion no otu omoka. So why here one gasa betima recruiting crofo a? Adentina say mo de kokoma no and the betu omoka.
Na equipment ni ade omo be use.
Equipment ni ye sen. Prayer ya jinja oni adimi gogo ye bi. That's been ni boy ye saying.
You no mosuko.
Me say that's been ni boy ye saying.
You no mosuko.
No.
What the
no, Mugabi. They say adenu ehu. That with him. The immediate passer, you can say, CEO, Kofi Japan. Or we have some Bible renew contract.
So could be answer our order.
Or also our order. That time as a meal kuya bochama, no could be a board to Timika say, oh, Momanu, Monfamano. Then we have Kofi Japan's 1 year. So the power ye bochama, chairman, say Japan. Reverend Kusibuating, Nere, Anita Kusibuating. What do they bought chair? What's your most sad contract in the family? Confess the boss, no.
Jamaica. Me, I will have
Kusibuating.
Me, and I will have me.
Say him.
Pastor Katida.
Oh, no, we are better there.
Pastor Kati. Nigeria and the neighbor Chama.
Family see what I have said.
They say, Sadi way. Look, I am saying it here today. NDC government, some most sign contract no, Emma Zoom Lion on this same condition. Hey, I can organize a demonstration. I can say Mahama Abai. I didn't. Look, so 1 year grant Oma and Profono 600. I don't know for 200 for administrative charges. Yes, Kakitwa 250 times 45,000. Yes, Kakitwa. Na obi kwa kwejina biam enye se wo kwa ye adwuma 1 hour. Wo kwa America na se wo ye adwuma 1 hour. Ya one year sika kra no enye $15 just 1 hour. Say sika wo ye twa omo no the whole month no enye $7. Adan.
Opsi.
Adan.
We dey betwa mu ye be di akire na ya do mo.
No, Mugabi. Sasemwe as say ya fan serious. They make sure look. Let's fight for those people. You fight you omo na say omo eji koso a abaya tumbejo no.
That's it. Captain. Odimbe ra hin bia.
Me
say what the kan akwata male.
Makwata male my Chief Justice.
O tamale o wi ameba hokagra.
Obese akwata male.
Ameba hokagra.
Miria. Sama me pesa me kan ho asem ye National Cathedral.
The NTC Cathedral.
I don't know where you went. Oba pa ye dwuma ho.
Da be fa me ko.
One say amanyo ene esom one ye careful esom bedada ema wontumi nyo man yi ena one ye careful politics na ye friend amanyo no eno so bedada ma wasei osom
ya de
montetre 26 no otesubi
ya de wako 2019 na pa ya yo Chief Justice
apa obi ho
I'm so worried I'm so worried eti wohwe adena wotimi say ye call by rules of engagement ewo how are ye select ayina seniority na do baby a atuguba ebe ye yinyina no eye because say no wodi animu aye sign ho e de kokoma ni pa foforo so ne no na ke say atuguba and the Chief Justice ade yetwa no ho am say omode ma Sofia Kufu so eti sadwa manuama we bi ana etoda ema oman ye yeden yenko yanim na maye brief ayi kakra tokono efri Winneba in the central region of Ghana
afenyo
that's right enti what the make na wo connect dots no ne kai ka ho ne enti afenyo timi issue ayi rate on 12 noon that by 2 ni aye Monday ni etie no bi susu di akwakoda ho no ma mosumi mienu mosumi miesa ne yemfiu ni ade no sa pepepe enti sa wote se
we ne ba powers
afenyo market se ni abre defend na chese wa hu baby free
wa NPP afenyo market
yeah no wa hu baby free so ne ete no eti se ma me ni esi ana so esi nde ye ya na me mpese meko into that you say ebia what you say after all in the line of President Mahama left no from baby edible baby so on ete no
time bi anim
nti o time bi anim me nko ka se wo sa party we ana se wo sa party
sana bi mu ntie
sa na wo hwe yese wo ne ye ene usuban ana ebe ya de no yese wo ho fede obeko na usuban de obeba so on ete no yes wo ho fede wakọ obia jatum say yes we are chief justice o tutu nua kama ndembom oni ye bi ni ye no ebi ni sei wo hwe kwan ya ofa so ebra na o mo hwe sa election related issues na tadio sorry ya o raise issue against one of the panel members wo ka kire o mo say sa papa ya wo ti hwe ayi wo tena so bia enyeye adenti no tena so bia enyeye because we contested as MPP parliamentary candidate in one of the constituencies in Volta region. Eti watena so bia enyeye wo kita the poster ebra wo contest here ni poster me say asem na wo kana na to chief justice no presiding oh Mr. sorry we've heard enough it's okay sit down hey lawyer ni jina wani mu kasa enti mando kwan kran na ko wie
mo hwesa video ne ma me sese a whatever production team
mando kwan na ka won kasa wie because we raise serious allegation against one of you enti we more just one example you can say evident wo toaso just what toaso be expose wo munti no and the woman nkasa kra that we shutting it down look one of the basic year as I say chief justice would say will be to me a control with temperament say we a chief justice and I say okokonya how can you run the judiciary say obi can ask some legitimate concern now woman nka we be shutting it down say I don't think say fair eti enu ebetimi aye one of the reasons in there among for so now we hwese ne o se ye no e wo court ho na clearly no you can state it as misbehavior so on ete no enu no free ho no ma ana ya bobo so a se ehun sika sem ne ne kakeka ho now you see I don't know ye kiremu ye now when it comes to travels ye wo official travel and private travel nijina is captured the official travel no wo kwa and no dey wo call with your security detail so that you know state no and the fahoka say wo call private traveler and no state no efa won kwa wo hoka sa audit ya omuye ya oka say wo use skabi no na official travel. It was a private travel. Onene kuno ne ba no. Na private.
No makwaje per dem.
Makwaje ho per dem. 10,000. Mo twitwa mo yi at a point kra no. Ye say bro mo ho no mo no. O san frɛ kra mo sa change ticket no to word BBB o mo upgrade from business no. E ba no call first class.
What I say.
Anu kwa na o mo upgrade e ba no call first class no. O mo say pia $9,000 in addition.
They take it.
Yes.
Bomaneka.
Adia, chese, Auditor General na capture side way no.
Captured in the Auditor General's report.
Report.
But bisa Auditor General, why Auditor General assembly here kan?
Na kufa.
Na match them ye. Now we are going to Mahama. Auditor General.
Auditor General.
No Auditor General.
Na some no be at us.
And no anka sakra no, but say judicial secretary no, e call for that audit. Ano mo aye a chese ade na ba. Na edru baby a afa we say sa 9,000 na wo mo ye na additional ne de obetua fidie na cho
papa nka obetua
fidie na yino
agino Just what the tell mama na so no.
The course why no.
Yeah, ehim. Yes, I will come baby enfa. The mere fact is say wagye atu mu say. The mere fact is wagye atu mu say. Oh, I didn't fa kwa mu. Eti metua ne back no. I set it down. Yes, on my bike. I'm a boy. It is finished.
It is what?
It's finished.
It is finished.
I couldn't see.
It is finished. You see, these are some of the things. What say embryo? Adamungo God. Well, most of them not all. So on the no. What would they Supreme Court judges say, "Oh, I'm talking here 14 cc. Emu 2 pe. Anabako every President Kufuor Anabako free John Mahama.
I don't go for
12 na Kenya President Kufuor. Ebra wa point to omo say, "Hey, who package judiciary? Who package the judiciary no? No wodim the opese wo ye." Because omo said the next 20 years no, they should have total control in the judiciary. So they tell no. We go kwatensia.
Unim dintia. I'm sure Anokye be. Why Nanado nene team no episode will take you over judiciary. Let me tell you something. As a result of this
book we did in captain.
Murder in the palace at Chebi.
Murder in the palace
at Chebi.
Aye.
It was written by one ACP H.A. Niama.
We are book on Ache.
Oh, Ache. Okay.
That's the name of the name of
time na war pay. Also, there were 3 arms of government.
Yeah.
Now your executive, your legislature, your judiciary.
Yeah.
Now, executive no. Now mo fi sa abrofo be dan ama JB dankwa. Abrofo na nye. And there's a book a wire. Now abrofo no pene say JB dankwa. Betime di o man name. There's a book which they know. Because now abrofo no say JB dankwa a traitor. Odidi Kwame Nkrumah won konkonsa na CIA fo etua ne ka
America
through American embassy. Chokwa no akwaje kewu. To mo chi ni tum kura na na sika ne nko no. Oba no kwa American embassy ambassador no so ekobusa say why are you not paying me?
Kodin sekuru.
Enfa no to ho. Eti executive ni fi wo monsa. Kwame Nkrumah fi Western region. Waba Accra. Abeji ododo aboso. Ema JB dankwa ma people teacher. I cannot to form say team.
Even in prison could all be.
Enti when nya executive arm of government no. When nya judiciary. Then afterwards no, JB Dankwa was defending this case.
Murder in the palace at Chebi.
Okay. And then they realized that say nya executive. Then nya legislature there.
Judiciary no.
Ye judiciary one there.
Yamfa.
You bet me up well them.
Apake ho.
Afa hodo said ye yepe. Nti if you na queen no, krachi ni bia wo ye yebusun mu.
Ose o yellow.
Wo ahimfi ha no. Ese o yellow.
By force. It's a mafia.
Ese o yellow. Because ni na kogruba ye the aban case beba court.
Obeye merenimfo.
Ni na kogruba ye the legislature asem no ye beba court. Nti yen so yenji judiciary no emmo so. And inside this book bet so mu twa sika to one mu tua bribes for cases. Dem na make kan
book no neka.
Another day story.
Asama na bike am say say justice Atugu Babeye chief justice no yade ma George na Wood no. Penny bi attest abra Mrs. ya. Eti nanka on nanka say ana yesa no ho yade ma George na Wood. Eni ade. Eti sadwe ba gwina ayeden akoso bibia said wo hwedo no yem paki ho nom ne ade. Eti e ka say mu yayi mo paki ho last minute to class omo de nomination go na minority amana amaso vete no anti mamaso so on
the Supreme Court
to Supreme Court come say the two kwa ka na ga 16 eti wo de yen set panel be ye ne oho Need no chaise office. I mean, it should not be so. Na me benim say sadi we ekowie committee ni wie na dwuma na afi omo recommend say on konkotran nchen a wo wie na president confirm the acting chief justice
justice
Bafuboni no de bakumienu bi kokoka ho a afi na ora dwuma no ba be hyase afi ana